What is up, guys? Here we are today with the Game TV finals. 8 invited players here today. So our, well, I say invited, qualified is a more accurate term. All of these guys top 2'd a qualifier to make it here today. So of course we have the unbeatable Agent Shadow. We have GreatBoy. We have LePakka and Victor, tournament regulars. Alicia Destiny, the arguably best player in Rivals history. Copycat, Srpss, who everyone knows from the Srpss Titan deck, and Maximus. So yeah, we got some serious tournament pedigree here today. Of course, my co-host is Jeffrey. Say hello, Jeffrey.
Hey, everybody. Nice to see you.
There is Jeffrey. Hooray, Jeffrey is back. The best. The GOAT of Rivals. Yeah, so today we're doing a slightly different format. Today we are having bans. So people can ban units. What this means is each player will ban 1 unit or commander from each faction at the start of the match. The loser will then ban an additional unit or commander. Just one unit or commander from one faction. So what we have here today, you can see at the top of the screen, we've got, it's a little bit wonky, but at the top of the screen you can see we've got Razorback, Inferno, Phantom, and Hammerhead banned. Now, unfortunately, these bans have aligned incorrectly with the players. It was the other way around. Victor on the left has banned the Phantom and the Hammerhead, and LePakka on the right has banned the Razorback and the Inferno. LePakka, I believe, banned Inferno because Victor is infamous for using Inferno. He absolutely loves it. Victor went with Phantom and Hammerhead ban. Probably means he wants to play Bombers, because that's the thing that's strongest once those two are banned. He's also famous for using Inferno and Orca Bomber. Orca Bomber is still in the format, so LePakka likes Chuggy deck, Victor likes Borka deck. I think we're going to see a Chuggy versus Borka. That's my prediction. But we'll have to get into the game to find out. So yeah, without any further ado, I think we're probably ready to get started.
I think so.
Okay, then let's get this underway. Alright, Victor versus LePakka. Game 1, of course, we do have these bans. These bans are only in effect for this match. So once this match has ended, we'll redo bans with the new players, and there'll be new bans, and so on. Also, one additional note, the Rockworm is very bugged right now. It is blocking ground units from moving whilst it is burrowed, so that is banned for the entire day. Alright, let's get this game started. So I was correct in Borka. Victor has, of course, brought the Borka, but LePakka has gone with Mutant Chuggy, which is exactly what I predicted. But he does have that Banshee. He does have that Banshee, which I think is really interesting. Because I was saying to Jeffrey earlier on, when we first saw the Hammerhead and, the Phantom ban, the reason Banshee is bad in the metagame is because Phantom and Stealth Tank beat it so easily. But I think LePakka, with his Inferno ban, is predicting Victor plays GDI, and Banshee's quite good against GDI. So, really interesting to see that Banshee making an appearance again.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. I think, like, you predicted this perfectly before the match even started. And, you know, Banshee is not going to be too bad. You know, the Talon is a really good counter Banshee in the fact that it's just cost efficient. But Banshee would be a good option against Borka. He's only got Pitbull and Talon, so it's not like the Banshee is going to get destroyed right away. There's no Hammerhead there. So this should be a pretty interesting match. Although, having said that, LePakka has got all 3 pads here. That single Rifleman's about to go down. These Mutant Marauders are chewing up, but they're about to get destroyed by this Talon here, and Attack Bike's finally coming out. We're going to move on to the middle pad. These Jump Jets, though, moving really quickly, get onto that middle pad. They're going to hold steady for just a little bit longer here. Finally, Riflemen move on to that, but the Talon needs to go down here on that leftmost pad. That middle pad's being very held very well here by Victor, and he's climbing back slowly. Can LePakka make his way back? We'll see.
There's the Liang drone on the bottom right to stall out that missile. Interestingly, Victor's Talon micro has been phenomenal so far, this missile. It's the only reason he's still in it. I spoke too soon. There it is. LePakka does take it. But yeah, Victor's Talon micro was really nice on that middle pad. He managed to kill an entire... He took 3 missiles from that bike squad, and then managed to kill the entire bike squad before it fired again at the Talon because of his jump jet plus Talon micro. Unfortunately, of course, LePakka is able to take that first missile. Unfortunate for Victor, at least. Not unfortunate for LePakka. And yeah, we haven't seen that Borka yet, which is obviously the key unit from Victor's side. So really expecting to see that pretty soon, given that it's such a good counter to this Mutant plus Chuggy combination. Another Talon comes out. A little surprised to see that. I was really expecting an Orca Bomber very shortly here. There it is. There's the Orca Bomber. Maybe waiting until the end of the missile. Looks like Victor's trying really hard not to finish off these one-man units. But obviously Orca Bomber does not discriminate. It's impossible to stop Orca Bomber from killing things. Sweeps up everything as the missile's about to fire. Here comes triple Banshee from LePakka though. This could be very strong. The Banshee does win 1v1 versus everything Victor has. But no, Victor's on all 3 pads. Does manage to take it down before LePakka's Banshees can kill anything. And a 4th Banshee from LePakka here. Wow. That is a lot of Banshees. He can't make anything else. And now suddenly Victor's going to respond with the missile troops. Oh, we've lost Jeffrey, my dudes. So yeah, slight issue here. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, Victor Victor responds with missiles to these 4 Banshees. LePakka, of course, can't make units. Overcommitment on the missiles, though, allows LePakka to come in with a chemical buggy and potentially punish these missile troops. Walker comes in to counter that Chuggy. Banshee gets in the way, though. Second Banshee coming in. Boost on the first Banshee. That's going to kill his Porker before it gets any bombs off. No, it's 1 bomb off. Takes out that bike squadron. But doesn't kill either of the Chuggies. LePakka now on double Chuggy, double Banshee. And these Banshees really doing quite well here. They're not very cost-efficient units, but they do win very well for PopCap. They do 1v1 most things very effectively. Here comes another Orca Bomber from Victor. Heads towards those mutants. Does sweep up the mutants. Doesn't get the Chuggy in range though. Double Talon comes out, kills 1 Banshee. It's looking very good for Victor here. Can LePakka get on all 3 pads? He does just in time. But the double Talon does take out that Banshee very quickly. And there it is. Victor does take it down. Well, that's going to be 1-0 to Victor. Alright, guys, here we are. Game 2. LePakka versus LePakka versus Victor. Sorry, I was distracted. So LePakka did, in fact, ban that Orca Bomber. Makes a lot of sense there. So here we go, guys. There it is. LePakka's back on his favorite Chuggy Wheel deck. Victor is on a Tick Tank Stealth Tank deck. Wow, really weird decks here. Not sure who I'd favor in this one. I feel like Fanatics with Tank should be able to defeat a Tick Tank Chuggy deck. Oh, sorry, a Chuggy Marauder deck. If it was Scorpion, I'd say that Victor was heavily favored, but Tick Tank is a lot weaker than Scorpion. When it's moving, and the reason the matchup is favored for the Fnatic deck is that you can boost your tank and chase down the Chuggy around Marauders, but you can't do that with a Tick Tank because it's got so many less hit points. Alright, so LePakka gets out that first Chuggy. As you can see, he does have that iridescent Chuggy skin. Not many people in the game with that, but LePakka is one of them. Victor goes for his first Tick Tank to counter, heads towards the bottom. LePakka immediately responds with laser troops. Victor brings the Fanatics down to counter the lasers, but of course that chemical buggy is nearby. Tick Tank gets off 1 shot on the bikes, doesn't shoot the chemical buggy. Fanatics move on to the pad, but Chem Buggy's ready to take them down. Boosted Marauders come in. They're going to clean up this bike in no time. Chuggy takes out those Fanatics, looking very bad for Victor here. Here comes the Seth Drill Pod. Is it going to be in time? Is he going to kill that Chuggy? Just about kills the Chuggy in time. Gets on all 3 pads, and that's going to be missile for Victor. Very nicely played from Victor there. Does take down that first missile. LePakka, of course, ends up losing a lot of his resources at the same time. Loses most of that Marauder squad, loses his chemical buggy. Does take out that Tick Tank before it gets onto his Harvester, though. So no major damage there. More boosted Marauders coming out. Not sure about this boost. A little bit too aggressive. Probably wants to get that Tick Tank before it burrows. Manages to get 1 shot off before the Flamers get in the way, though. Has to retreat from those Flamers. Tick Tank moving around, microing through those flames, trying to stay away from that Mutant Marauder. More wheels coming to clean up these Fanatics, but of course then the Tick Tank gets a boost. Tick Tank goes in against the bikes, doesn't burrow, takes a pretty big hit there. Mutants come in. These things will clean up even a burrowed Tick Tank pretty easily. Yeah, there goes the Tick Tank, but another Drill Pod comes down. Takes out those Mutants in return, so not a terrible exchange for Victor. Chuggy cleans up these Flamers, but takes another hit from the Tick Tank. Fanatics boost that Tick Tank. Mutants move on to the middle. Single wheel squad top. A little bit risky there from LePakka. Probably wants to replace that with something else. Chuggy heads towards the top. Oh, it moves down. A little bit of Mystic there. Takes a shot from that Tick Tank. That's huge. That might cost him this missile. Stealth Tank comes in time, though. Chases off the Tick Tank. Fanatics get on the top, but bikes sneak onto the middle. Is the Tick Tank going to fire in time? No, it doesn't, and LePakka evens it up. 1 missile to 1. Alright, Victor sets up his first tick tank. Oh, a little bit of a risky move there. If the stealth tank catches it, it will one-shot it. There it is. Does end up losing that tick tank because he moved it a little bit too aggressively. Boosted mutants clean up this next tick tank. I think Victor's heavily regretting not playing those scorpions right here. These tick tanks have basically never burrowed. It would have just been better if they were scorpions right now. In comes that tick. Fighting down that chuggy. Gets 2 shots. Doesn't quite finish it. Mutants trying to take care of this remaining tick tank. Does get a pretty big hit on it. Oh, but he snipes the stealth tank before it fires. Very nice snipe from Victor there. Bikes take down most of the tick tank but can't finish it. Boosted mutants come in. Clear out this tick tank before it can burrow. Chuggy takes out the fanatics. Tick tank goes down to the bikes. Looks like LePakka has complete control right now. Wow, what is he doing? Moving off all of the pads. Not sure about this. Very aggressive moves. Looks like it's going to pay off though. He's on all 3 pads. Blocks Victor out. And there it is. LePakka takes it down. Evening up the series 1-1. Alright guys, here we go. Game 3. Victor versus LePakka. It is currently 1-1. And the banned units are Razorback, Inferno, Orca Bomber, Phantom Hammerhead, and Chemical Buggy. Alright, so LePakka is playing a 2-2-2 Nod deck, a very weird one. With laser drones. Actually not that weird. Well, no, it is quite weird. It's got Stealth Tank and laser drones. His deck looks very weak to GDI, and Victor has gone with a classic dog sniper style build, which I think should be quite strong in this matchup. LePakka's going to have a hard time beating snipers protected by pit bulls and missiles. Alright, so we start with dogs, classic dog sniper opening. LePakka goes barracks opening, so we're seeing rifles and missiles. Surprised to see LePakka microing these rifles around. The rifles actually have a relevant impact on the matchup against dogs. So I would expect him to see them actually shooting things. So the first sniper comes out for Victor. LePakka responds immediately with Venom. Victor obviously responds immediately with Pitbull. The classic old school sniper matchup. Laser drones come out to take care of these dogs. Of course, laser drones not very good against Pitbull. Pitbull is going to be a huge issue for LePakka in this game. He really doesn't have a good answer to Pitbull. This is normally why people played Scorpion for, you know, a really long time. Because otherwise, you're really weak to Pitbull a lot of the time. So LePakka, those laser drones not doing anything for him. Victor easily takes first missile with the help of the Pitbulls. Only 1 sniper down so far, so not looking great. Interestingly enough, Victor's chosen to play Solomon, despite the fact Liang is not banned. So a little bit surprised to see that. I guess he just likes Solomon. First Talon comes out to start handling these laser drones. Doesn't really need to go Talon. Could have just continued to go Pitbulls. Pitbulls will handle... Pitbulls will absolutely do fine against laser drones. Second Predator comes out to replace the first one that's about to go down. All those laser drones are dead. 2 Predators get these shots on these bikes. Bike just about gets 1 missile off, finishing off that low hit point Predator. Here comes some fresh snipers to go behind that Predator and guard it from those laser troops. And a Pitbull from Victor as well. LePakka looking pretty weak here, honestly. This formation from Victor is looking very tough for him to break. And he's very low on money as well. He only has 100 Tiberium in the bank, and he really wants like a stealth tank to one-shot these Pitbulls. Doing a really good job of getting damage on these Pitbulls with the lasers plus laser drone against the snipers though. Here comes another Talon to help defend these snipers. Victor looking in pretty good shape here actually. If he can get on these pads, LePakka's units are all pretty low hit points. But here comes a stealth tank. This is going to take out this Talon. Another stealth tank. Wow, LePakka suddenly flush with cash. Oh, here comes the iron cannon. Hits absolutely nothing. Amazing dodge from LePakka there. And that's going to be an easy missile from him now. I don't see how Victor gets back on these pads in time. And there it is. Evens it up. 1 missile to 1. Alright, Victor comes out with a Talon to start taking care of these Venoms. This Talon paying absolute dividends for him in this matchup, where LePakka has these 2 air units that don't shoot back. Talon able to handle both of them very easily. Missiles coming out as well from Victor. No snipers right now, though. Militant's able to come out and punish these missile troopers. Victor goes for a Predator, seeing those stealth tanks still roaming around. But loses all of his missile troops to these militants. Both players reasonably high income now. LePakka sitting on 300 Tiberium. Victor on 120. Almost enough to fire off another iron cannon if he wants to. Both Predators take out both Stealth Tanks. That's a pretty big cost for LePakka, but he has a lot of spare cash, so he probably doesn't mind too much. He can just throw some Stealth Tanks out there again if he needs to. Victor's 2 Predators roaming around the map. Really not a lot of good answers to Predator Tank in LePakka's deck. Looking like he's having a pretty hard time dealing with them. Another Stealth Tank comes out, looking to volley down that low hit point Predator. Does take it out, doesn't take a shot in return either. Double Talon, double Predator, looking very good for Victor. I don't think LePakka is going to get back on these pads in time. Here comes an Iron Cannon, takes out those lasers, but Stealth Tank at the top takes out the Talon. Stealth Tank at the bottom goes down. Looks like a flip for Victor, and there it is, guys. Victor takes it down. And I believe that is 2-1 to Victor now. Alright, guys, here we go. LePakka versus Victor. LePakka has banned Liang after that last game. Not actually anything that Victor was playing, but I guess he just doesn't want Liang in the game. So, yeah, he's gone for the Liang ban. So yeah, we've got Victor is on exactly the same deck, but with Jackson now instead of Solomon. And LePakka is on Marauders with Fanatics instead of Chuggy. Wow, a little bit of a weird deck there. We'll just try and move these bans up a little. Now, these bans are covering the base hit points, which isn't ideal.
Building online. Unit lost. Unit ready.
Alright, so LePakka looking pretty strong at the moment. Has these Fanatics coming out. He's on all 3 pads right now. These missiles, obviously, from Victor are going to do short work of these bites. Oh, boosted Fanatics. Not sure about that play. They're going to get chewed up by those snipers. Looks like we might see a quick flip here for Victor. Boosted snipers come in, takes out these Fanatics. Wheels come at the top, though. They're going to be able to take care of these missiles. But snipers on the bottom. Looks like, yes, Victor does just about hold that pad long enough. Takes that first missile. And LePakka now struggling to beat these snipers. LePakka really does not have a good answer to snipers. A little bit surprised to see that after last game. I guess the last game the snipers weren't that good, so he thought it wasn't a big deal. But of course, this map is much better for snipers. So LePakka probably should have considered that with his deck choices. LePakka probably reeling a little bit from this chemical buggy ban. Not really sure what to do without his favorite unit. Oh, nice little micro there from LePakka. Flanks these snipers a little bit. Takes down one of them. Doesn't manage to get in and finish the whole squad off, though. And a fresh sniper squad from Victor comes out. This is going to be a problem for LePakka. LePakka goes into these mutants. Needs to move them towards this Predator tank. But he needs to get there really quickly. The missile's about to fire. Victor looking pretty strong. He's about to take control of all of these pads. Snipers on the front. Boosted mutants come in. Are they going to be quick enough? Plus the stealth tank. They do just about take it down. Stealth tank doesn't finish off this Predator, though. Oh, sorry, Pitbull. Mutants run away from the snipers. Snipers move down. Pitbull doesn't quite die. Wheels at the top, though, do take control. And that's going to be missile for LePakka. Tying it up at 1 missile apiece. Victor responds to this stealth tank with a couple of Predators. Fanatics, of course, from LePakka, trying to take care of these missiles. Missiles in front of the snipers there, holding the ground. Mutants come in. Victor now gone triple Predator. I think this is a pretty good choice, actually. The Predators are super tanky. It's really hard for LePakka to kill them in a reasonable time, and especially without using mutants, which obviously are weak to the snipers. So LePakka goes double mutant response. Wow, stealth tank comes in, doesn't quite finish that Predator. That's a big cost. That Predator gets a big hit on that stealth tank. Victor choosing not to finish off that stealth tank. Not sure if that was intentional or not. Does now finish it off. That 1 hit point Predator, though, is going to be a liability. Those Fanatics are going to kill it if they get a chance. Yep, there it goes. Sniper's boosted, though, clean it up, and it's looking really hard for LePakka to break this sniper formation. He's going to need a well-timed push, I think, but the triple missile now standing in front. Very difficult to get through all of these missiles. Predator does go down to that stealth tank, but Victor is sitting on 300 Tiberium, so no problem for him to rebuild. Boosted Fanatics come in. Are they going to clean up these missiles in time? Oh, Wheels taking down these snipers. It's actually pretty close. The snipers can't get into position because of these wheels. Victor not on the pads in time. Wow, and there it is. LePakka manages to take it down. 2-1. Alright guys, here we go. Match point, Victor versus LePakka. As you can see, we've got quite a lot of bans now. And yeah, we are now going to have an Oksana mirror from these players. So it's going to be Tic Tank Fnatic again against Avatar from LePakka. Wow, interesting choice of Avatar deck. Probably a good choice on this map. Let me just move these bans down so that you're not blocking the timer. Okay, hopefully this won't block any of the battlefield action. If it does, we'll have to rethink where we're putting it. Alright, so LePakka, of course, is playing Avatar, wants to stall reasonably hard here. There goes the second harvester at 42 seconds. A little bit late. You do need to make your second harvester first missile if you're playing a tech deck like this, an Avatar deck. Regular tech, you can make second harvester a little bit later. Avatar is really expensive. You do need to get there. Victor, it's unclear. He knows there's 2 harvesters. But he might not be looking to charge that missile. He probably doesn't realize that he's on a clock right now. Yeah, it doesn't look like he knows he's on a clock. So LePakka getting a lot of value here from the fact that Victor doesn't know that he needs to be charging this missile. So Victor's going to take first missile pretty easily. No surprise there. Against double harvester, you're always going to win the first missile pretty easily. LePakka built his Temple of Nod though, pretty close to that Avatar already. Victor, realizing there's 2 harvesters, goes in for some pressure, but yeah, it's looking pretty sketchy now. LePakka about to make his Avatar, and he's got plenty of time to take over this game. Victor has no Tic Tanks planted yet either. Tic Tank, of course, once it's planted, would be a decent answer to the Avatar, but it's going to be hard to get it planted against this Avatar. The Avatar's roaming free. Victor does kill both harvesters though, so LePakka does not have any income right now, and Victor has a lot of spare cash. Can he convert this cash into victory though? Here comes the boosted Avatar. Takes out that stealth tank without taking a shot. Tic Tank moves in as well. That gets creamed. Oh my god, that's brutal. Victor having a very bad time here. Cannot deal with this single Avatar that's on the field. Doesn't have any air units, of course. Avatar cleans up another Tic Tank. Very nice deck choice from LePakka, both on the map and because the air units, the bombers are banned. So of course, it's much less likely there's a good answer to Avatar. Avatar is absolutely demolishing this game. I don't think Victor can come back into it. Tic Tank gets off 1 shot there. Stealth Tank fires off a volley, but at this point, even if he kills the Avatar, it won't be long until there's another one. Now, LePakka just needs to not mess up at this point. He just needs to hold this Avatar and keep it going. Oh, there it goes, though. He might lose all of his troops to the death explosion. He does lose everything. And he can't afford a new Avatar because he never rebuilt his second harvester. Oh my god, is it going to be the comeback from Victor here? LePakka, with no money, never got a harvester kill, never killed second harvester. Loses his stealth tank as well. Not sure he can afford this loss. LePakka spending all his money on stealth tanks to try and get back onto the field here. Does hit that Tic Tank and takes it out. Victor responds with Fnatic's top. Are they going to get there in time? It doesn't look like it. I think LePakka's going to take it. Wow, and there it is, guys. LePakka takes it down. 3 games to 2 in an epic series. Alright, guys, here we go. Agent versus GreatBoy. This is still round 1. The bans so far, we have Agent has banned Razorback and Phantom. GreatBoy banned Orca Bomber and Oksana. Oksana, I think, an excellent ban against Agent Shadow. Agent loves Oksana. He always plays Oksana. You can see here Agent is playing his favorite Fnatic Shade deck, but he doesn't have Oksana, which he likes to play normally. He has been forced to switch into Seth. GreatBoy comes out with lasers to respond to these wheels. Lights and lasers. Looking to fight each other. Agent responds, of course, with the Fanatics. GreatBoy with the mighty Buggy. The Buggy Council has spoken and allowed GreatBoy to use the Buggy and the gun this game. Buggy, of course, not that powerful without the gun. But with the gun is quite the dominant force. Unfortunately, Agent is a very talented player, so I suspect we will see... I suspect this game will kind of show off why Buggy does not see a lot of play in high tier. I think this buggy is gonna do very little and mostly just get killed by bikes, but we'll have to wait and see. Here come the mutants, take care of these bikes. Buggy is almost dead, unfortunately. Buggy gets in there though, does manage to get a little bit of chip damage on those fanatics before it goes down. And of course Buggy is very cheap, so you can make a lot of buggies. We are on tide pools, which means we might be in for the long haul here. Tide pools tends to be a very long match. As you can see, the missile stalls a lot. We're at 1 minute 25 already. We haven't fired first missile. More fanatics from Agent, takes out the buggies with the fanatics and moves into stealth tank. This is obviously even better for Agent. Stealth tank fanatic is really where he wants to be against almost everything. First stealth tank does take care of some infantry though, very weird choice. And here comes some flamers from GreatBoy. These flamers very, very powerful here. Agent cannot afford flamers of his own. Looks like these flamers are gonna win GreatBoy the first missile, and there it is, guys. GreatBoy takes first missile thanks to that Srpss drill pod. Agent simply doesn't have the money to respond, investing quite a lot in this stealth tank. Does go for that buggy, takes it out, no problem. Probably gonna push that harvester next. Stealth tank reloads, of course, very quickly with that fanatic boost. Does go after that harvester. Bikes come in though. Second stealth tank cleans up the bikes. First stealth tank almost dead, but is still just about alive. And of course, stealth tank still able to do maximum damage whilst very damaged itself. Takes out another buggy. Here comes the drill pod from GreatBoy. Harvester goes down for Agent. Sorry, for GreatBoy from Agent, killing the harvester. Agent now flush with cash, 220. GreatBoy pretty broke. He has these mutants which are quite expensive. Doesn't take care of that stealth tank. Big cost for GreatBoy here. Stealth tank comes in again. Finally goes down, but Agent has complete control of the map. Easy missile for Agent here. Complete domination of the map. GreatBoy forced to resort to riflemen and lasers for a little while because he simply can't afford more expensive units. Goes into those laser drones. Laser drones, of course, very strong versus Agent here. So a little bit surprised to see the laser drones take so long to come out. This is probably where GreatBoy wanted to be against these stealth tanks. Another harvester go for Agent. Agent now sitting on almost 400 Tiberium. And yeah, these buggies have not been very impressive, which is not too unexpected. Agent misfires with one stealth tank though. Gives GreatBoy a little bit of a chance to get in there with some laser drones and do some damage. But Agent just has so much money, he can afford to rebuild a new one very easily. Mutants come out to try and punish this stealth tank overcommitment. Oh, excuse me. The Agent responds with double fanatic. First fanatic goes onto those mutants. Buggies come out trying to keep these fanatics back, but stealth tanks are one-shotting them every time they reload. Stealth tank goes down before it kills that buggy, but Agent switches into Shade. Shade cleans up the buggy, no problem. Mutants on the top and bottom, pretty tanky here. GreatBoy with another drill pod, but Agent responds immediately with his own drill pod. Drill pod on drill pod action, but here comes the buggy. Actually relevant here, cleans up these fanatics very quickly. Heads around the top. It's going to go down to these stealth tanks though, and I don't think GreatBoy can kill these flamers in time. I think that's going to be it, and Agent's going to take it down. And there it is. But game one goes to Agent in a grueling 4-minute match. Wow, I think we might see a Fnatic ban after that one, but we'll have to wait and see. Alright guys, here we go. Agent Shadow versus GreatBoy game 2. GreatBoy, of course, did ban Fanatics after that game, which I think is a very wise choice. And we've got rokketz filling in for Jeffrey, who is having some serious technical issues. Thank you very much, rokketz.
Good to be here.
Alright, so let's check out what decks these guys have decided to bring. Agent Shadow, in no surprise, has brought these snipers. Agent loves snipers. He actually hates the fact that Razorback removed snipers from the metagame. So not at all surprised to see him bring a sniper dog deck. GreatBoy playing, it looks like Reb Solomon. Yep, that's a Reb Solomon deck. So obviously this is named after the player Reb, who invented it and popularized it. And it's a very cheap, aggressive deck built around firing missiles very quickly and using your cheap units to save up for iron cannons.
I'm a fan of Solomon. I know you're not really played, you don't have anything good to say about it, but
Solomon's okay.
An iron cannon at the right time obviously turn the tide of battle, so it'd be interesting to see how good GreatBoy is with Solomon and see if he can make it count.
My general theory on Solomon is that while Solomon can be really powerful in swing matches, if you just played a good commander, you probably wouldn't need to swing the match. That's generally how I see it.
Unit ready.
You probably wouldn't be losing and need a Solomon if you weren't playing Solomon.
So, I mean, the missile's half charged here. Obviously, both playing GDI decks, so gonna see a lot of, well, a few, you know, common units with the pit bulls and the missiles. Oh no, sorry, GreatBoy doesn't actually have missiles, which is a bit of a...
Unit lost.
Agent with that Liang steel at the back. The Pitbull doesn't quite get there in time. Pretty comfortably takes that first missile and drops an emote at the same time. Classic Agent Shadow there. GreatBoy having a pretty hard time with this this sniper deck. This map, of course, quite good for two range units, I'd say. A lot of the fighting happens in this central location. It's a very narrow pass. There's only 3 tiles, top to bottom. So it's quite easy to create blockers, create a blockage for your two range unit and sit it at the back. And you can see Agent's so far ahead in economy now that he's able to get those zone troopers out.
And has 2 missiles worth to you know, just get zones on the pads.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, of course, if GreatBoy had won the first missile... Oh, nice Iron Cannon. Gets 1 Zone Trooper model and the snipers. Probably not super hyped there. Probably wanted to get the whole Zone Trooper squad. Yeah, as Rocket says, if GreatBoy had won that first missile, he can maybe tempo out the first Zone Trooper and win the second. But with Agent having almost infinite time to build Zone Troopers, it's going to be a really uphill fight for GreatBoy here.
Unit ready.
Alright, looks like we're closing in on that missile. GreatBoy does have Drone Swarm, which is a good answer to Zone Troopers if you can get 2v1.
Warning.
But Agent, of course... Oh, here comes a big Iron Cannon. Takes out the Pitbull and 3 of the 4 Zone Troopers. That one lonely Zone Trooper causing GreatBoy some grief here. He has to finish it off, which buys Agent a lot of time to get that Pitbull into the middle. GreatBoy doesn't move these Drone Swarm across quickly enough, doesn't kill those snipers. So the jump jets are going down. He gets 1 sniper model though. This is a big deal. This makes it a lot harder to take out things like rifle squads, as it goes from 2 volleys to 3 volleys to finish off the whole squad. Jump jet sneaks to the top left. Is it going to live long enough? No, not quite. Agent just about gets there. GreatBoy, of course, leaving a Pitbull on the top right pad. Very smart choice here because it'll counter a Liang drone. Iron Cannons himself. Not sure he wanted to hit his own unit there. It does take out Agent's unit. Agent forced to send over the Pitbull. Wow, really close here.
Goes down.
Pitbulls are going to take out this sniper, but then the Predator's coming in. Predator, of course, 2 shots. Pitbull. Drone Swarm heading top right. Not sure about this. Also top left. Double Pitbull cleaning it up. Not sure what GreatBoy can do to get back into this one. It's looking pretty hard to get through these snipers. He's just desperately throwing these fast units at the pads.
He's got drones and jump jets to go and contest the pads, but he really needs stuff that can then hold it and not just die when he gets there.
Yeah, exactly. Here comes an Iron Cannon. If this hits the... Oh, he misses everything! I think he should have just centered that Iron Cannon on the zones. I think killing the zones was the priority. Trying to be greedy there and get the zones and the Pitbull and gets massively punished. Doesn't get anything, and that's going to be game. Agent takes it down. I think that last Iron Cannon should have been centered on those Zone Troopers just to guarantee the kill.
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be tough to get one over on Agent Shadow. I mean, really winning the first missile and having zones in your deck is going to be a very tough ask to come back from that.
Alright guys, here we go. Match point. Agent versus GreatBoy. Agent, of course, is 2-0 up currently. GreatBoy banned snipers after that last match, which I think is a pretty smart choice. So Agent is now on a Nod Seth deck. Let's see what it is. So it's a Nod Chuggy deck. Interesting. So what Agent's doing here is he is trying to play his comfort deck slightly modified. So he's gone, you've taken out Fanatics, so I'm going to swap Fanatic Wheel for Militant Chuggy. That's clearly his game plan.
I was going to say, I mean, just looking at it immediately, I can see units in here that the Agent is very skilled with. So, you know, that's a big yikes from...
Yeah. He is very good with Stealth Tank for sure, and Shade. Yeah. There's only so much you can ban, but it's interesting that Agent's response to these bans has clearly... It's not to play a completely different deck, it's to simply modify the deck he likes. Which is interesting. Because instead of going like, oh, okay, I'm going to play Mutant Chuggy, right, which is like a legitimate deck that has no bans from it yet, he's just gone, I'm going to play my Fnatic deck again, but just with Chuggy instead of Fnatic. So I think that's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, just try and change the deck he's comfortable with in the least way possible.
Exactly. Which also, I believe, the reason I say this is interesting is I think that further on in the tournament, or potentially in future tournaments, if you know this is Agent's playstyle when you ban his favored units, you can target what you think he's going to switch into. Because he's going to play the same deck, but slightly weaker. And now you can play a strong deck that no longer loses due to, like, Fanatics being in the game. Anyway, GreatBoy, of course, going with the Rev Solomon again. Nothing from that deck is banned still. But Agent, I think Agent still has a decent matchup, you know, like a Chuggy laser deck. Here comes the first Iron Cannon, end of first missile, cleans up everything, and a very nice sweep in with the Jump Jet Troopers afterwards. Doesn't get the block, but it doesn't matter. Self Tank is very slightly too slow there. And GreatBoy takes first missile from Agent, so already we're seeing the impact of these bans. Agent a lot less happy with his deck here.
I was a big fan of that. I thought originally the Iron Cannon wasn't worth it because I thought you'd have to get the Stealth Tank to make it worthwhile on an economy standpoint, but managed to move Agent off the pads and win the missile. So
yeah, exactly. It's yeah, it was a big cost, but it was a powerful tempo play rather than, like, it wasn't a good economy play, but it's a powerful tempo play. And there's not that much, like, there's almost any amount of Tiberium is worth winning the first missile in a lot of games. Like, if GreatBoy can trade like 200 Tiberium for the next missile as well, he just wins the game. It doesn't matter if he's down 400 Tiberium, right? So
exactly.
Of course, now we're seeing the downside of this. Are we going to see an Iron Cannon? Oh, I don't think it's going to be in time. Maybe it is. Just about in time, but doesn't get on the pad. And if GreatBoy had blocked that top Flamer, I think he would have had it there. I think that Iron Cannon was perfectly timed. If he'd blocked the Flamer with his Pitbull at top, then I think he would have been able to sweep onto that bottom pad and take the game. Unfortunately, doesn't block that Flamer. So getting onto the bottom pad doesn't quite cut it. And yeah, we do see a second missile for Agent.
Unit lost. Unit ready.
Agent quite far ahead on economy here. GreatBoy seems to be hurting for cash at the minute. I mean, he's gradually building it back up, but Agent seems he could be able to replenish any sort of stealth tanks that get destroyed. So, I mean, to me, that seems like he's in quite a powerful position here.
Yeah, completely agreed. It's certainly, at this point for GreatBoy, he is looking to win a tempo-based game, which is often the case with Solomon. He can't win on economy, he can't bleed Agent's economy dry. But what he can do potentially is, if he doesn't have the money right now, but if he could potentially have saved up for an Iron Cannon, he could have maybe sniped the missile, and that was his best chance. But unfortunately, so far behind on economy here, isn't able to fire off that Iron Cannon, which he really needs right now. And I think that means Agent's going to take this third missile pretty comfortably. And there it is. And you see, if GreatBoy had 100 more Tiberium for that Iron Cannon on the bottom, he wouldn't have had to send the jump jets down there, and we could have maybe seen a flip. But Agent does take the series 3-0. Alright, here we go, guys. Copycat versus Alicia, game 1. The bans are Srpss and Rifleman from Alicia Destiny, and Predator and Scorpion from Copycat. Alicia, of course, known for loving to play tanks. The Copycat has banned both of them. Interestingly enough, no unit banned from the Fnatic Stank deck, which is exactly what Alicia is playing. However, she is also playing Kayn for some reason. Not sure if this is as an attempt to have game against something specific. Maybe she wants an answer to the Titan deck, because there is no bans on any of the Titan deck cards. Or maybe she just wants to play Kayn.
Yeah, it could just be in the name of Kayn.
Could just be in the name of Kayn. That's a perfectly reasonable reason to play Kayn. The Copycat, of course, banned both those tanks. Doesn't want to play against tanks, against Alicia, which is fair enough. She is well known for playing her tanks. So Alicia opens standard wheel into Fnatic. Copycat does a standard rifle into missile. And now Copycat goes into Tick Tank very early on. Unfortunately, he has lost a lot of map presence early. Alicia winning that first engagement with the wheels pretty easily. Wow, and there's an Obelisk first missile. I mean, take out this Tick Tank.
Is this the triple wheel meta that you've been
This is the triple wheel meta.
Because they're hard to fill all the wheels before the first missile charge.
It is. It's more about the fact that if you can set up free wheels on defense, then you need 3 lasers to push into it, basically. Which is quite hard to do early game if you open rifles.
Right.
Alright, so Alicia's pushing this harvester. Copycat goes into shades. Alicia has a stealth tank ready to go, but is not able to get near the shade yet.
I mean, I've only just really realized that Copycat's only anti-infantry unit is militants.
Oh yeah, wow. That's surprising. Maybe he was expecting Alicia to simply not bring much infantry. Like, she often doesn't... Or she often plays, like, just fanatics or just... Well, even then, if she has snipers, it's pretty scary. I wonder if Copycat didn't think about this properly. Maybe he's supposed to have Buggy. He loves Buggy. Alright, but here comes the second missile. Alicia's fanatics are coming out. These fanatics should... These fanatics are going to take control of the map, I think. And yeah, that's going to be game. There goes Copycat. Yeah, the lack of anti-infantry really hurting him there quite a lot. Alright guys, here we go. Game 2. Game 2, Copycat versus Alicia. Copycat, of course, banning the fanatics after that first game. It seems like a pretty reasonable play. Alright, so Copycat is bringing a Tic Tank Basilisk deck. And Alicia has brought a Tic Tank Shade deck. Is this the deck that Copycat just played? It is, right?
No, well, I mean, there's no Basilisk.
No. Alicia's deck is the deck Copycat played.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Why?
I don't know. I suspect that she's probably... I mean, if Copycat had brought a heavy anti-infantry unit, like a chem or something... I mean, I know he has chemical buggy, but I mean, sorry, a heavy infantry unit. If he had brought, like, chem warriors... Yeah. I don't think Alicia could win, right? Or sniper deck, if he brought a sniper deck, so... I don't know why Alicia's brought this deck. Obviously Copycat made a mistake in bringing it, but she's okay here. Her deck, this deck actually is okay versus what Copycat is playing, because it doesn't have much infantry. He only has militants and lasers. So Alicia is not going to get punished for bringing this deck.
I think Copycat needs to be utilizing lasers as much as he can. Laser chem buggy, maybe.
Yeah, agreed, because Alicia only has militants to kill lasers. Yeah. So yeah, if he uses lasers with chem buggy to protect from militants, if he had marauders, this game would be over, right? If he had marauder plus chem, he would win automatically.
Yeah.
Because Alicia just wouldn't be able to kill the marauders in a reasonable time. Okay, so here comes a shade to take care of this chemical buggy. Copycat does go into another laser. It takes another hit on this chemical buggy, unfortunately. Yeah, not the tightest play from Copycat. I think maybe we should be seeing a lot more lasers, like you say, because Alicia does not seem to have a great response to them.
Just play the chem buggy like it's a Razorback, you know, like you're playing GDI.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. Just play laser wall with a chem buggy to protect it. Here comes the first Basilisk. I don't know if this is going to be in time, unfortunately. Basilisk also not going to be that good. Phantom is still legal. Alicia does have one in her deck. Yeah, I don't think the Basilisk is going to be in time. Maybe Copycat can sneak on. Doesn't quite get there. No, it doesn't. And Alicia does take game 2. Unfortunate. Alright guys, here we go. Game 3, Alicia versus Copycat. Copycat banned Razorback. We did have a slight issue where Copycat played Rifleman. So this is a remake. But yeah, no problems. The rules are warning first time, game loss after that. So Copycat appears to have simply replaced the Rifleman with dogs. I didn't actually get a good look at his first deck, so I'm not sure if this is...
I think that is the same, except Rifleman with dogs.
Oh wow, so what's interesting here, because Alicia is again playing only Rifleman as anti-infantry, if Copycat makes a Zone Trooper, she is dead.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to sort of get into that in the last game, but it ended so quickly.
Sure.
You have a tough time taking down Zone Troopers.
Yeah, Zone Trooper is going to be an absolute nightmare. You can kill a Zone Trooper with militants, but like it's not great. To be fair though, Copycat doesn't have a great anti-infantry unit to protect his zones, because Razorback is banned, which is the ideal solution to go. I think Copycat should have played Drone Swarm instead of Talon in this deck. I think that would have been better.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, you don't really need Talon and
Hammerhead. Yeah, I mean, exactly.
Talon, in my opinion, Talon is great, very versatile in the early game, but once you get enough Tiberium for a hammerhead, then it's the Talon's anti-infantry capabilities, you know, are kind of weak. As far as a double, you know, a 2 anti-infantry unit deck goes, this is like about as weak as you can get, really.
Yep, agreed. Actually, I did forget, I just realized, Alicia is playing Kane, of course. That is an answer to Zone Troopers. Kane is very good against Zone Troopers because it 2-shots them. So actually, Zone Trooper spam might not win this game, but Alicia does win first missile, no surprise against double half. But here comes the first Zone Trooper.
Tic-tac power.
I suspect we'll see an obelisk. Yep, there's the obelisk to counter the zones. Copycat's probably going to try and run away, but he needs to kill this obelisk. I mean, obelisk lasts long enough that he can't just sit here and do nothing. Oh wow, and he built a hammerhead. I think that hammerhead was supposed to be a zone trooper.
Well, I mean, he can attack the
obelisk
with the hammerhead.
Yeah, which he's doing. He has no way to break in. He's just so far behind right now. He just needs a better anti-infantry unit to go with his zones. I really think if he had drone swarm, this would be going a lot better for him. Here comes the zone. I don't think it's going to get on the pad though, and yeah, it looks like Alicia's going to take this one pretty easily. Yeah, Alicia. Oh, hang on. Alicia does have a pretty hard time against zones, but unfortunately, Copycat was only able to make 2 zones, and the obelisk does give her outs against them. There you go. Alicia does take it down 3-0. Alright guys, here we go. Srpss versus Maximus. Round 1. Maximus has... We've got the bands the wrong way around, but Srpss banned Strong Arm, Maximus banned Liang, Srpss then banned Banshee, and then Maximus banned Stank. So what's happened here is it looks like Maximus has banned powerful units, and Srpss has targeted banned Maximus's favorite things. Because Maximus always plays... The deck he's playing now, he basically always plays this, but with Strong Arm. And then Wolverine instead of Pitbull, and then his Nod deck is a 2/2/2 deck with Venom and Banshee that he almost always plays. So Srpss, I think these are targeted bans. And interestingly here, Rockets, we see the Catalyst gunship.
Yep.
For the first time.
The troopers.
Yeah, and very interesting to see that. Interesting to see that Srpss went straight into Catship instead of going for some chems. I feel like once you open barracks, you can just go chems, right? I mean. Because now he's got lasers and Catalyst gunship.
And I play Rifleman and Talon on ladder, and it's pretty... It takes a while to shoot down some chem troops.
Yes.
They're kind of weak infantry units that in the GDI deck that you're fighting them.
Yep. So Srpss loses that first missile. Catship actually not very good against rifles because there's 5 of them. It takes the Catship quite a long time to kill them. Catship has some absurdly high infantry damage. It's like 590 or something. It's really high. But a rifleman only has like 100 hit points. You can only kill 1 rifleman per shot. So actually, it's not like riflemen have like 200 hit points or something. I can't remember exactly, but you would be able to kill like 3 riflemen per shot if it's had splash damage. But obviously, it only kills 1 model at a time.
Obviously a very cheap way to take care of Catalyst gunship without any, anything firing back at you. So,
yep.
Obviously a Talon's a massive problem for a Cat gunship. Bikes are very good against Talons though, but...
Yeah, and then of course the jump jets are good versus the bikes, and the Catship is okay versus the jump jets, but again, 4-man squad.
The game of rival.
It's really the 3-man squads that you want Catship against, like mutants, chems, zones, like 2- and 3-man squads are where Catship shines, because it has so much damage per shot. You want to go up against beefy, low number squad infantry. Alright, so Maximus does take first missile, starts going after that base kill. Srpss, of course, because Maximus invested all of his resources in the base, Srpss takes second missile pretty comfortably. Oh wow, and now that Srpss has taken a missile, it looks like he's going to try and go for the base kill as well, because he is playing Jade with that Chem Trooper. This is a great play from Srpss, because he's not going to be able to fire another missile before he loses his base. But he can kill his opponent's base very quickly, and I think it's going to work out for him. Wow, there it is. I thought Srpss was super dead there after that first iron cannon on his base, but he just wins the game instantly after firing the second missile. Really well played from Srpss there. Here we go, guys. Game 2, Srpss versus Maximus. Srpss won that last game in a bit of a steal, honestly. and Maximus banned bikes. Maximus loves Talon. Maximus absolutely worships at the altar of the Talon god. And of course attack bikes kill Talon. So that's probably why he's gone for the bike ban. Srpss playing a very similar deck to Maximus here, but they both have the triple infantry, they both have the pitbull, and then it's Talon Orca versus Razorback Sling. Sling is a great choice versus Maximus. Maximus loves to play this double air triple infantry. If you play Razorback Sling against him, your deck is insane versus Maximus almost always. So really good choice.
Sure that the slingshot is set up because I mean, Maximus has Orca. So, you know, it's whoever gets to the attacking position first in that scenario.
Yes, that is, well, yes, the Orca can drive into a slingshot and kill it.
Oh, can it? Oh,
Yeah.
right.
But obviously, it'll be so low that it'll then die to the next slingshot without ever getting a chance to shoot it, which means that you'll be down in money because you've traded 60 for 70. Although Maximus going for some heavy pop capping here. Srpss on 2 one-man rifle squads, and he snipes out that slingshot. I think he only lost 1 Talon to that sling.
Building online.
So that's pretty good for Maximus. Razorback comes out, but of course the Talon can counter it. And now Srpss has gone all 3 buildings, which means he has no money. So Maximus should take this first missile, just because Srpss is completely broke.
Warhead launched.
Of course, sorry, Maximus also went 3 buildings, but his deck is a lot cheaper, so he can make that play. Whereas Srpss has 60 cost units. He's made 2 60 cost units, so he's a lot lower on cash than Maximus is. Alright, so now of course we enter the classic Razorback plus missile combination. Usually it's really important for a deck to have a way to kill missiles that doesn't die to Razorback if you want to win this. Talon doesn't really do that because Talon can't move into missiles, but you can Talon spam. Like you can just make a lot of Talons. However, Srpss does have that slingshot, which is going to shut that plan down. So
set up now,
Yeah.
you know, this looks really tough to break.
Maximus is going to need Iron Cannon to break this formation, I think. Because this is what I was saying, if you get a Razorback plus a Sling versus Maximus, it's really good versus the decks he likes to play. And you can see now Maximus is getting pushed back heavily because he just can't beat Missile Razorback Slingshot. Like, that is too difficult a combination. Right, here comes the Iron Cannon I was talking about. Gets most of the units, doesn't...
He needs to move in now, though.
Exactly, he needs to move in now before the Razorback comes and punishes him. Here comes the Razorback. Oh, Iron Cannon from Srpss, though. Gets both Pit Bulls. That's going to flip it back. I think Srpss is going to take this one here. Oh, yes, just gets the missile there before the Talon gets on. Razorback on the left would have secured it anyway, so yeah. Srpss with the counter Iron Cannon tempo play. Maybe Maximus waited... maybe Maximus used Iron Cannon a little too early there. Hard to say. He did need to get it down when it was going to clear up a lot of the board, though. So if he waits too long, Srpss spreads out his units and the Iron Cannon loses impact.
I am liking the amount of Solomon that we are seeing in
Yeah.
this tournament
Yeah.
so far.
Really nice to see. I mean, the Yang is banned, so there's actually a reason to play other GDI commanders now. You can also see how the Razorback is actually a lot less powerful with the Liang band because he actually loses them occasionally and has to build new ones instead of just healing up the same one forever.
You can't pull it back over your missiles.
Yeah, exactly.
Unit
Also, normally, like, what happens is during combat, the Razorback is being healed and you just can't get any progress on it. Here we see that because Srpss is playing this Razorback missile combo, which is so efficient, he is building up a lot more money. He has 240, Maximus has 70. When it comes down to time to fire that Iron Cannon, Srpss can do that and Maximus can't. And now we're hitting the end of the 3rd missile. Are we going to see an Iron Cannon? I expect to see an Iron Cannon from Srpss on the left pad. Looks like he's not even going to use one. Just going to take the missile without it. Wow, and there's the Iron Cannon just at the end there in case the Razorback had gone down.
Yeah.
Srpss does take that 2 missiles to 1. And that means Srpss is going to be 2-0 up. Okay, here we go, guys. Match point. Srpss is 2-0 up. Maximus, of course, banning that Razorback there. Makes a lot of sense. I suspect Maximus is feeling pretty uncomfortable not playing that strong arm that he loves so much. Wow, and some really weird decks here. So Srpss is playing a sniper deck with no dogs. He's got Rifleman instead. Borka Hammerhead as well. Maximus going for Wolverine Zone Trooper and starting with Blind Double Harvester. I gotta say, the deck from Maximus is okay. I think Wolverine's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Zone Troopers are pretty good though, but Srpss has those snipers, so it's not necessarily great. Blind Double Harvester on this map, I'm not a fan of. it's really difficult to stall at all because of the way the map is laid out.
I think if you switch the jump jets for missiles, that's pretty much the standard Bronze League deck that you start the game with. So we've all played that, you know.
Not shade. I think you're right though. Yeah. No, you are right. That is that's funny though.
So, like, we've all got experience with these units, so it's good to see it because obviously, you know, you don't see some decks like that at the top level, so that's good.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think by the end of this game we'll know why you don't see decks like this at the top level.
Right. Yeah.
I think SRPSS with the snipers and the Borka, it's going to be too much. Alright, so here comes the first Wolverine from Maximus. Wolverine, of course, does not beat pit bulls, so SRPSS should be able to clean up this Wolverine pretty comfortably. Boost to the Wolverine, trying to get it in against those snipers, but as you can see, not that hard to shut down a Wolverine, and I mean, it looks like the game is already over. I don't see how Maximus gets back into this one.
I mean, once you've got enough money to build, like, pit bulls to block for your snipers, you don't need dogs.
There's a classic example of how to beat tech there. SRPSS just ends the game almost instantly. First tech unit comes out, he kills it, and the game's over. Alright guys, here we go. First match, SRPSS versus Alicia. I say first match, first game of this match. This is round 2. The bans are Stealth Tank and Titan from Alicia Destiny, and Inferno and Razorback from SRPSS. So Alicia is playing her standard GDI deck. No surprises here. None of the units she plays from it are banned. SRPSS playing another Catship deck. Really interesting to see this. He did win against Maximus playing this deck. Not sure if it's going to be good in this matchup though. Interestingly enough, the Phantom is going to beat Alicia's Air, right? Phantom is better than Hammerhead.
Yeah.
Catship is good versus snipers. They're a 3-man squad, so it only takes 3 shots to kill off the whole sniper squad. But you do have to get through pit bulls, and Catship is abysmal against pit bulls. So I do think I'd favor Alicia in this one. I think Pitbull is going to be really hard for SRPSS to deal with, honestly. At least Pitbull with snipers. So yeah, here we see the Catship trying to run down the snipers. Can it suicide into them and still kill them like a Razorback can? It killed 1. Killing 1 is, I mean, once you kill 2, the squad is pretty bad. So yeah, he's killed 2. Now that's pretty good, honestly. If he just leaves that 1 sniper, that's a bad unit for Alicia to have on the field. However, SRPSS also has 3 one-man sniper squads, or 3 one-man laser squads, which isn't where he wants to be either.
Alicia maxed out on pop cap at the minute. Can she hold it?
Alicia just has too many units. Like, even though she's pop capped and they're not very powerful units, there's just too many of them overall. And here you see the issue with Pitbull versus Catalyst Gunship, which is it can dodge that. It dodges the explosion. Which is why Cat Gunship is not that strong, basically. It's one of the biggest issues with Cat Gunship. It just goes down so easily to pit bulls. Alright, so a fresh sniper squad comes out. SRPS is having a little bit of a hard time dealing with these snipers. And here comes a Hammerhead. This one will shut down the Catship completely. Yeah, as predicted at the start of the game, I think Alicia is just favored because snipers are too good against SRPSS's deck.
I mean, troops can tank a few shots from snipers, but you need to get them in there.
Yep, and this by the way, this is why you play dogs with snipers most of the time, because dogs actually block things like chems. If you just play rifleman, chem spam can overtake you. And wow, Borka comes in, sweeps up everything, and that's going to be an easy game for Alicia there. Not sure about this experimental deck from SRPSS. Alright, here we go. Game 2, SRPSS versus Alicia. SRPSS has banned that Orca Bomber, and both players have switched. Well, sorry, SRPSS has switched to Liang. Alicia was Liang previously. So Alicia has taken out the Borka and added in zones, and has she's playing. She's a completely different deck. We're now playing Rifle, Missile, Sniper. No Pitbull anymore. No Orca Bomber. Zone Trooper, Blind Double Harvester for the zones here. But SRPSS is playing a very funky Fortress deck with no MSV, which I think is pretty good on this map. And with the Orca Bomber Inferno ban, he's not going to get bombed. This is smart.
Alicia's got 4 infantry units, and SRPSS has Shatterer.
Yeah, I was about to say that the Zone Troopers, which normally are a trump card, actually lose to Shatterer. That is a real thing. Like, Zone Troopers are not that good versus Shatterer. So SRPSS getting maybe a little too aggressive with this MLRS here. Maybe didn't expect Alicia to have missiles in her deck, I'm not sure, but almost loses it. Big investment there. If she loses that, if he loses that, it's very bad for him. Shatterer comes out to deal with these missiles. Predator comes out to take care of the Shatterer, but of course Liang Drone will heal these up. And for those of you who don't know, Alicia hates MLRS. She loves tanks and she hates MLRS because obviously MLRS is very good versus her tanks. Oh, a little bit of miss micro from SRPSS though. MLRS misfires. Gets one shot on that Predator, but the missile does fire before he can get rid of that Predator. He does maintain his Shatterer though. Now, normally I'd say the player with double Harvester and Tech Unit is heavily favored here. But because it's zones, SRPSS does have a nice answer to zones. He's not just going to lose straight up to zones like you normally would.
Yeah.
Man, he just keeps losing these Shatterers and MLRSs though. This is not very clean play. I don't know why he's being so aggressive. Like, maybe he's scared of a mammoth or something, but like, he doesn't need to kill Harvesters. He just needs to win missiles. And I think he's being way too aggressive with these MLRSs, and it's really costing him.
He's got no money now.
Yeah, like, he's completely broken. Alicia has loads of money, and he didn't kill a Harvester. Even if he killed a Harvester, I don't think it's that big a deal, is my point. Like, that's not how you beat Tech. You don't beat Tech by killing Harvesters. You beat Tech by winning the game quickly. I'm really surprised to see him go so aggressive on the Harvesters. Because MLRS is weak when it's moving. That's how Predators punish it. Anyway, never mind. He does have the Shatterers. The zones aren't an auto win. Here comes double Shatterer pushing into these zones. This should annihilate the Shatterers. Yeah, sorry, the zones. Sorry. Annihilates the zones. And yeah, they go down very easily there. SRPSS looking like he's in pretty good shape, actually. These Shatterers are so strong. Alicia's deck is just... his deck is so good versus Alicia's deck. I think he's played quite poorly. And he's still winning because Shatterer is so good in this matchup. Oh, this is exactly what I wanted to see from the ban format. This is great.
Make Predators work now. She needs to get some Predators out on the field and get them to attack those Shatterers, because I mean, you saw what happened there. That was just a mauling with the Shatterers.
Yep, and Alicia does finally go into Predator. SRPSS down to 2 Shatterers though, but he doesn't really. I think he doesn't. He's so resource rich. Like, he was so poor, but his deck is so cheap. He can just keep making these Shatterers and MLRSs. And Alicia's deck is so weak to it because she just doesn't have any air units like that can shoot down. As those of you who know, against Fortress, the strongest thing you can do against Fortress is cycle your unit types. But Alicia just doesn't have an air unit, so she can't cycle her unit types. And I think this is just a great example of a perfect deck counter. SRPSS has played this game reasonably poorly, in my opinion, and is still winning by a lot. Because his deck is so good versus Alicia's. And this is exactly what I wanted to see from the ban format. I'm really happy to see this. This is exactly what I was hoping would happen. Oh no, the Liang drone! I think SRPSS has it covered though, right? I mean, he's in such a dominant position right now. We might even see him make a slingshot to kill this Liang drone. Wow, absolutely dominant deck choice. And someone call Dice and tell him Shatterer MVP. Wow, there it is. SRPSS is absolutely dominant in deck matchup.
I mean, there was a point in that game when SRPSS had no money, and I thought that was it.
I thought he was
screwed,
screwed, yeah.
I'm not gonna call it in the middle of the game, but I thought he was
agree.
down and out.
I completely... After that first missile, I was like, what is he doing? He's getting destroyed. And then his deck was just so good that he won. He won anyway, despite playing that first missile really badly. Oh, God. Wow, excellent. Big fan. Big fan. All right, here we go, guys. It is 1-1 currently. SRPSS versus Alicia. SRPSS just savagely outdecking Alicia in that last game. And she decided to ban Rifleman. I was expecting an MLRS ban, but the map is not strong for MLRS. So potentially she just didn't really see the need to do that. And we see very similar decks here. Both players on a classic Fnatic aggro style deck. The only difference is Shade versus Phantom. I think this favors Shade by a reasonable margin.
Well, I mean, I was going to say the opposite. I mean, because everything mirrors each other, and then once you get enough to get a Phantom out, then that's going to take shade out of the equation.
Right, but that's exactly it, right? You need to spend 100 to shut down their 60 cost unit. And if you don't have your 100 cost unit, their 60 cost unit does something. But if they don't have their 60 cost unit, your 100 cost unit is worthless. So the shade has targets and it will be relevant as long as there's no phantom. And the phantom will do nothing once the shade is gone. So that's why I think the shade is favored. Although this game will probably come down largely to a tank war, which Alicia is very good at.
Yeah, I was going to say in that.
But having said that, Srpss is ahead. He just has more tanks right now, which is the key to the tank war. Although Alicia gets the block, and that's going to be first missile for Alicia. That very nice block. Srpss almost takes down all the War Factory units there, but doesn't quite manage it. And I think that was a slight mistake. Srpss should have gone bikes. This last tank that was full hit points sitting on the back pad, he should instead have gone bikes and sent them bottom to kill the wheels. Potentially he didn't know what was down there though, so it wasn't as easy choice. But yeah, I think maybe that would have been a better way to go with it. Alright, so Alicia goes into lasers. I generally think in a Fnatic mirror going lasers is a mistake because it allows your opponent to go Fanatics for value. And then the Fanatics also mean that you win the War Factory mirror because you have Fanatics.
Yeah.
But obviously Alicia is able to immediately go Fanatics as well, so we'll have to see how it goes. Here we go, both players get boosted tanks. Wow, Srpss way ahead here, 2 tanks to 1 with boost on both. But he shoots down the bikes. It's okay though, he wins the tank war. Now he has 2v1 in the tank war. Looks like Srpss is way ahead. Isn't on that back pad right now though. Not sure how relevant that's going to be. Pulling the half for it. I think this is a pretty smart play to pull the half here. He gets Alicia's harvest as well. Wow, Srpss is super far ahead right now. So now it's 1-1, but Srpss is really far ahead on the board. Alicia forced to go shade to counter the tank spam. Wow, you know Alicia's in trouble if she's admitting defeat in a tank war.
She never had the most tanks on the field. She was building bikes on first missile when Srpss was building Srpss. So never had the same tank presence on the field.
Normally though, Alicia is able to win a tank war even when behind on tanks. And this right here is what I was saying about who's favored. Like the shade comes out, it kills both the tanks, and then the phantom traded for 1 shade. So now Alicia is up 40 Tiberium in that trade, and her shade is still relevant. Yeah. Whereas if Srpss had killed both shades, he'd now have a useless phantom. So yeah, I do think it's rough. Oh wow, that boost on the lasers meant the shade plus the bikes and the tank killed 2 of them. Very bad for Srpss because it means he doesn't clean up that shade. And yeah, as you can see, shade is just a very dominant unit in this matchup. Out comes another phantom, but you really don't want to be making a lot of phantoms if you can get away with it. A boost on this phantom is going to be huge. This is going to let it take out both shades.
Yeah, it needs to get that other shade with it to make it worthwhile, really.
Cleans out both shades, but there's bikes to handle it. And he's going to take the tank out bottom. But the phantom's going to die top. Oh, this could go either way right now. Fanatics to the bottom. This is huge. Lasers trying to sneak around the top right. Srpss gets the block, but he's not on bottom. Oh, Alicia gets on the top right. I think that's going to be game. Can't kill the lasers in time, and there it is. Alicia takes it down. Very nicely played from Alicia. And I think the shade was the critical factor in that game. I think those shades were just so important because Alicia was losing until the shades came out.
Establishing battlefield control.
All right, Srpss versus Alicia Destiny. It is 2-1 to Alicia currently, so this is match point. We are still in best of 5s. And both players are on Liang now after a shade ban from Srpss. Oh, wow. Whoa! What?
Harvester ready.
So Alicia playing MSV Fortress and Srpss playing the other. Okay, well Alicia's heavily favored because MSV Fortress beats regular Fortress because the MSV boost is such a big deal.
Unit ready.
Yeah, unless Srpss can somehow get jump jets to really do some work, but as soon as a Shatterer comes on the field...
Oh, actually, that's a good point. The jump jets are going to be very good. And it should be possible to protect from the Shatterer. You've got to assume that this slingshot was a misclick and was supposed to be an MLRS. Because that makes no sense, right? To have made a slingshot here.
Oh, yeah. Not as your first unit, yeah, definitely.
No. But here comes the jump jets. They are going to do some work. Doesn't block the Shatterer. Wow, Srpss. Really big misplays here. The jump jets don't block out the Shatterer. The other jump jets don't go after the MLRS quickly enough. Yeah, that was really awkward for SRPSS. I think some serious misclicking there. Does take down this first Shatterer, maybe not. Oh my god, the boosted Shatterer. Wow.
Tell me where it hurts.
Wow, that is disgusting.
Just kept it going.
Yeah, the boost means the jump jets just don't even get a shot off. And this is what I was saying, the MLR, the MSV is so strong in the mirror match.
Unit lost.
Yeah, the MSV is so strong in the mirror match. It's really difficult for SRPSS to win this one.
I mean, he made a great comeback last time, but I just...
Yeah, but he had deck advantage last time. This time I think he doesn't. Yeah, this is rough. This is rough for SRPSS. He's disadvantaged in deck. He misclicked a little bit at the start. He built that sling by accident. This is really difficult for him. Really difficult. But this is what he needs to do. He needs to set up an MLRS such that it will shoot Shatterers that try and protect Alicia's MLRS. That's his best way to win. Like if you can set it up so that Shatterers can't move in to your MLRS, then that's how you win the matchup. Oh, Alicia sneaks in with the boost though, eats the shot with the Shatterer, and then uses the boosted MLRS to take out SRPSS's. But SRPSS, the jump jets once again doing a lot of work, but it's not going to be enough. There's the Liang drone, and that's going to take it down. And Alicia just with a huge advantage in the matchup there. Alright guys, here we go. We've got Copycat versus Maximus. This was being done off stream, so it is already 2-1. I actually don't know who it's 2-1 to. It just says the score is 2-1. I think it's 2-1 to Maximus, but I'm not sure. And the bans are Pitbull, Chemical Buggy, Shade Phantom, Talon, Stealth Tank, and Scorpion. So Maximus is bringing a Giga Avatar deck. Surreal. Very surreal. Copycat is bringing a Razorback, Mohawk, Predator. Oh wow, Copycat's deck is really good. Copycat has like a standard tier 1 deck, but he seems to have forgotten to build a Harvester.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Maybe
there it is.
Maybe
Okay.
knew Maximus is going tech.
Yes,
so
it's possible. I believe he lost to Avatar last game, so he might have been opening very aggressively to counter a stall. Unfortunately, that hasn't worked out great for him. Wheels give you, if you open rifles into wheels, it's pretty hard to charge the missile. So yeah, hasn't got a lot of stall. Has now gone for that Harvester, but he doesn't have the ability to get that Razorback out very quickly. And it looks like Maximus might just one-half this whole first missile. Boosted Fanatics, they're going to clean that up in time. Oh, Liang drones are stalled, but this slows down the Razorback massively. Bikes are going to come out. Fanatics are moving top. I don't think the Razorback's going to be in time, thanks to that Liang. Mohawk comes out, but yeah, it's way too late. Maximus takes first missile. And that is going to put him in a very strong position to win this game with that Avatar. Although, Maximus's anti-air is actually very bad. He only has bikes plus lasers. So even once he gets an Avatar out, he still can't beat Mohawk plus Razorback. So if Copycat works this out and realizes that Mohawk Razorback plus Liang is a very good combination, he could still win this game very easily. He just needs to make 1 Razorback and like 4 Mohawks and he'll win this game. He's already switched to Predator, so maybe he doesn't realize that. That is unfortunate. Yeah, that's unfortunate. If Copycat identified that Mohawk Razorback was where he wanted to be, he could win this game, I think. But it is obviously...
He may realize that in about 1 minute from now.
he'll realize it after the game for sure. Oh, and he's gonna lose his drone to the bike as well. That's pretty unfortunate. But here we go. Second missile's looking pretty good for Copycat. Predator plus Razorback is really good versus what Maximus has right now. Maximus. Also, Maximus still on 1 Harvester. Really surprised to see oh no, Copycat, be careful! Are you gonna get there in time? Okay, just about gets there. I thought he might have thrown that missile. Alright, so Copycat takes second missile pretty easily. I do think Copycat's deck should win this matchup. Like, all he needs, when the Avatar comes out, he'll be forced to respond with Mohawks. And then he'll just naturally fall into playing Mohawk Razorback, hopefully. At which point he will be like, oh my god, actually, this is great. I'm winning easily with this Mohawk Razorback combo. But we will see. Like, if you're playing Mohawks and your opponent is sending bikes at them, that's a pretty big clue that your opponent doesn't have a good anti-air unit.
Yeah, I play Mohawks all the time on ladder.
Phantom and Stealth Tank are banned, of course. There's no choice. Maximus doesn't have access to Phantom or Stealth Tank. He simply can't play those units, so he doesn't have a good anti-air option. There isn't one left in Nod. This is a great deck choice from Copycat then. Mohawk Razorback is insane versus everything Maximus can bring on Nod.
Yeah. Guys, you know, Banshee exists, right?
Yeah, that's true. He could play Banshee. This is what's so great about this format. Banshee is still a decent unit stats-wise. It's only the fact that Stealth Tank and Phantom are in the format that has made it bad. Everyone's forgotten it exists. Because it's been bad for so long, everyone's just forgotten that it exists. So no one has played it. And look at this. Copycat's gonna win because his deck is so good versus Maximus's deck. Great times. Absolutely. I love to see it. Really good choice. Really good choice of deck from Copycat. Really bad choice of deck from Maximus. He should have realized how terrible his deck was versus Air and not played Nod, I think. Here we go, guys. Match point. Maximus versus Copycat. It's 2-2. We've got a plethora of bans here. Pitbull, Chuggy, Shade, Phantom, Talon, Stank, Scorpion, and Razorback all banned. So we are going to have a lot of bans here. Some very interesting decks. Copycat playing a Kane, Chuggy, Tick Tank, Laser Drone deck. This looks like the deck he played against Alicia, but with Buggy instead of Bike, so he can beat infantry. I think he had Shade against Alicia as well instead of Laser Drone. But otherwise,
I don't recognize Laser Drone.
I think he had Shade instead of Laser Drone. Oh, he had Phantom instead of Banshee. Phantom's banned now, and so is Shade. So,
you know,
boy Banshee, yeah, it's your boy Banshee.
Hopefully Copycat will bring home the win. I feel a bit vindicated.
I think Maximus's deck is very, very good here. I don't see like Copycat's gonna have a really hard time beating the Zone Troopers. Yeah.
And Hamid's obviously gonna beat Banshee one-on-one, and I just don't see Buggy and lasers getting too much damage on the Hammerhead without it flying away, sort of thing.
I think the Buggies are quite good in the matchup overall, though, because Maximus only really has jump jets to kill them. Like, he has jump jet, missile, and zone. Obviously, he can't make zones for a while. So he has to use jump jets and missiles to fight Buggies. That's not where you want to be. Like, they'll win 1v1, but they're not great. They're not cost effective. The Buggy is also really good against Drone Swarm, so I actually think the Buggy's going to be very strong here. Alright, here comes... Oh, the Obelisk to counter a Strong Arm. Insane plays from Copy. That's the biggest waste of Tiberium we've seen in this tournament, I think. 110 to counter a Strong Arm turret he could have walked away from. Alright, well anyway, he's gonna be really disappointed that he's used that 110 when the first Zone Trooper comes out. That's all I'm saying.
What you said at the very start when I came on was you spend as much Tiberium as you can to win a missile.
He had already won the missile. Like the turret doesn't contest the missile. He'd won the missile. That was already confirmed. He didn't need that.
I tried.
Yeah, if he had been going to lose the missile and the Kane had saved it, then that's a fair enough play. But he'd won the missile, and then he just dropped an Obelisk as like a massive flex or something. And now a Zone Trooper is going to show up, and he's going to be like, wow, I wish I had an Obelisk. Maybe he'll have enough money for it anyway, because these Buggies are so good, I don't know. Obviously, once again, guys, the Buggy is not that good. It's the gun on the Buggy that makes it good. Buggy on its own is kind of whatever. Buggy with a gun, very, very strong. Oh, here comes another... Oh my god, an Obelisk to counter turret again. And to be fair, there's no zones. If he just wins the game without zones showing up, then, you know, I have to eat my words. Oh, but here comes the flip! Oh, no!
Damn.
Absolute nightmare for Copycat there. And here comes the first zone as well. And Maximus is not going to walk into that Obelisk. He's going to wait till it's gone. And this Zone Trooper is a nightmare. Obelisk is the only way Copycat kills a Zone Trooper. Like Buggy and Rifle. Well, technically he can do it with Militants, I guess, but not really. Oh my god, look at these 3 Buggies trying to take down this zone. Let's see if they even get a model. Oh, it's close. Yeah, they do get a model. That's not too bad, I guess.
Well, am I missing something here? Like, yeah, shouldn't it be spamming Militants rather than Buggies?
Yes, I believe he was thinking the Buggies are fast enough that you can make a bunch of Buggies and kill the first Zone Trooper. The second Zone Trooper shut down that plan. If there'd only been 1 Zone Trooper, the 3 Buggies would have annihilated it. But the second Zone Trooper came in and shut that plan down. Alright, so now I think we're going to see Obelisk. Maybe. Copycat, Obelisk. No Obelisk. Huge fan of not Obelisk. I'm joking. He has to Obelisk! What are you doing? Make Militants an Obelisk! Oh, it's too late now, I think. It's too late. His lasers aren't shooting the drones top. Oh, and that's going to be it. Wow. Copycat. Honestly, deck was pretty good. I think some pretty big misplays there from Copycat. And that's going to be Maximus taking it down 3-2. And that's going to be Copycat out of the tournament. Unlucky Copycat. Alright guys, here we go. This is the winners bracket finals. So not the grand finals, the winners bracket finals between Agent and Alicia. Our bans are Predator and Scorpion from Agent, and Stealth Tank and Razorback from Alicia Destiny. So interesting to see what these decks these players have come up with. Alright, so of course, to no one's surprise, I think, both players are playing Bombers. Alicia is in fact playing her standard deck just with Tick Tank instead of Scorpion. Agent is playing a Sniper Pitbull deck, but he's gone Jump Jets instead of Missiles. I think that's a concession to the map. Jump Jets are very, very, very good on this map. And also he's playing a Borka Hammerhead combo, which is very strong. And because he has the Hammerhead, he doesn't really need the Missile anti-air because he already has a powerful anti-air unit. So, very coherent deck from Agent. Alicia, of course, just playing her standard deck with Tick Tank, so also very coherent. Yeah, interested to see how this one goes.
Oh yeah, they look good. I mean, it's going to eventually turn into the Battle of the Skies, I believe.
Yep, absolutely. Which I think favors the Phantom.
Yes, that'll be interesting to see. Obviously, Alicia's going to have to be using these Tick Tanks to go after the Pit Bulls, but to try and not take too much damage from the Jump Jets in the process.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to see. And the Snipers are very good versus the Fanatics. Alicia actually probably going to be forced to go into Infernos, because Sniper with Pitbull and Jump Jets in front of it is not something she can really beat with her deck until she goes into Bombers. Now, you can still, it looks like she's going to fire this missile before Agent can stop her. Yeah, wow. Really nice play. Getting that Tick Tank burrowed. Annihilates those snipers as well. Alright, well, never mind. What I was saying obviously didn't pan out. I do think Agent is still favored with the Sniper plus Jump Jet, but I think Alicia just outplayed him there on that first missile.
I mean, this is the one of the showdown maps, as you will probably know. I'm quite fond of that game mode, and Borka's one of my go-to units on that. So I think that's going to play a big role in Agent Shadow getting back into this game.
This map has been around for a while now. It was first used, I believe, in the Orca Bomber release event, and it's a favorite for bomber decks. Like, bomber decks have been very good on this map pretty much since the map came out. Everyone has known that bomber decks are good. So yeah, both players playing those bombers. I think Agent's insistence on using Jump Jets to block has really hurt him, because they're taking so much damage from these Fanatics, and they're very expensive. I think using dogs would have been better, because they'll hold off the Fanatics a lot easier.
Yeah, don't sleep on the damage they actually take from Tick Tanks when flying over them. I mean, it does a noticeable amount of damage.
Yeah, they are very squishy.
2 shots from the Tick Tank will kill a model.
Wow, really insane Hammerhead micro from Agent there. Wow, really avoiding that Phantom, even getting one volley. Does end up taking the volley, so the bikes are going to finish it off, but the Jump Jet sneaking across is going to win him this missile. Very nice play from Agent there. Really, like, the way he microed that Hammerhead was excellent. Not just the Hammerhead, but the units around it, preventing the Phantom from having a tile it could stop and wait in to shoot. Really, really good play from Agent there.
It's something you can only do with childlike fingers. So,
you need very tiny fingers to pull off this play. Oh, Alicia doesn't quite get the double hit there. Pretty big deal. But of course, Phantom is better than Hammerhead. As I was saying at the start, I think it will come down to a Battle of the Skies, and I do think that Hammerhead is unfavored. Phantom is much stronger than Hammerhead as an anti-air unit. You see here that Phantom doesn't even take a shot back from on the Hammerhead. So a fresh Hammerhead comes out. Surprised, honestly, I think either player could have gone double harvested quite easily in this matchup, because they're both trying to spam expensive air units. But neither player has done that. It is a very, very tight economy war, though. The person who comes out ahead will be the one who ends up having more money, I think. In comes the Phantom, finishes off that Hammerhead. Once again, Phantom showing how much stronger it is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Ono comes in and cleans up the Pitbull. Yeah. We haven't even seen...
Agent is supporting it with Pitbulls underneath the Hammerhead, but they're just still getting wrecked by the Phantom, and the Phantom's in and out.
Yeah, like it comes down to a Battle of the Skies, but Agent hasn't even been able to make an Orca Bomber, because Phantom is just dominating the skies so much, and he doesn't have the ability to use Pitbulls because of the Tick Tanks, And what he'd like to do is switch into missiles here, but obviously he's playing jump jets instead. Because missiles would be good versus the Phantom and the Tic Tank, and at least ship the Inferno when it comes into bomb. But he just doesn't have missiles. He doesn't have a cheap anti-air option, which is costing him quite a lot now. When these jump jets are going to die to the fire, basically. He's almost lost them just to that Inferno fire. Alicia, of course, an expert with the Inferno. Looking very strong for Alicia here. I don't think Agent is going to... Maybe a Liang steal plus a jump jet flip. Oh, I don't see the Liang yet. So there's the Inferno bomb.
He's got to try it.
If he Liang's right now, he could flip it. Why isn't he doing it? It's his Agent we're talking about. He loves the Liang. I'm amazed to not see a Liang over there. There's only Fanatics holding it. Wow. And I think Agent missed his chance. Yeah, he did. He could have Lianged that bottom right pad.
Yeah.
He definitely could have got the flip there. Very uncharacteristic play from Agent not to make that play. I would have expected that from him. But yeah, there you go. Alicia takes it down. Alright guys, here we go. Game 2. Agent Shadow versus Alicia Destiny. Alicia Destiny is 1-0 up, and Agent has banned the mighty Inferno from Alicia's arsenal. We'll have to wait and see what they have brought to the table. Agent sticking with... It's exactly the same deck, I believe. And Alicia has brought the same deck with Shade instead of Inferno. Now, of course, Shade is not an Inferno. Those are very different units, so the way this game plays out should be extremely difficult. Oh, Agent switched to Talon instead of Hammerhead as well. Possibly because...
I think it's better value for money.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think it's just because he got so wrecked by the Phantom last game, he doesn't really feel like he wants to play Hammerhead Phantom again. Like, he doesn't want to play Hammerhead against Phantoms again. Now, I don't think snipers are great on Broken Mesa, honestly. It's pretty difficult. Like, the only play you can hold the middle, and then your opponent can go top and bottom. And snipers...
Is Slingshot banned?
Slingshot is not banned, no.
Because I would have swapped out dogs for Slingshot.
Really? Interesting.
Or snipers. Because now he's got three units that shoot infantry.
Sure. I think he's using the Talon as an anti-air unit only, basically. I think that's his role. I don't think he plans to use it as anti-infantry. Yeah. So Alicia trades Missile for Harvester there. Not a big fan of that play from Alicia.
Because if Agent does come up against Phantom, he's going to need about 3 Talons.
Yes.
Piece.
Yeah, that is true.
Copycat wise, that's not ideal.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I think maybe his thinking is he can win without air. Now he has the missiles as well, right? He has the missiles instead of the jump jets. But maybe he's thinking he can win with just sniper missile, basically. It doesn't look like it's going very well so far, though. Alicia is giving him the business quite firmly. He did win first missile with the Liang steal, but yeah, once again, like I was saying before about blocking for snipers with infantry, if your opponent just throws lots of infantry at you, they kill your blockers and force your snipers to retreat, which is what we're seeing here. An Agent can't get on the pads. There's the Liang steal, which is his last hope, but yeah, there's just lots of Fanatics running towards his snipers is a problem for him. And this is why you need to use dogs to block rather than using infantry to block. That one Fanatic double boosted just annihilated one of the snipers. Wow, but Agent, I mean, again, Master's Curse, you say something, you're wrong. Agent takes second missile easily.
Yeah, and not Phantom in sight, so...
Yeah, there you go. I was wrong, Agent was right. Alright guys, here we go. Agent Shadow versus Alicia Destiny. It is 1-1, and Alicia has gone for a Missile Trooper ban, which is pretty spicy. Alicia obviously very rarely plays missiles and lasers. She doesn't really like them. She prefers this War Factory heavy build. So she's gone for the missile ban. Agent, of course, switched to switched to Nod now that missiles are banned. And he's playing a Giga deck. Now, normally I'd say Giga is good versus what Alicia does, but whilst that Shade is still in her deck, I don't really want to play Giga. I also never want to play Giga on cracked ice.
Yeah.
I really don't want to be a Giga deck on this map, so I don't know how Agent's going to pull this off, but I think he's in trouble. Alright, so of course we see a bike mirror at the start. Agent actually did a really nice job there of trading his wheels for a bike, which is a good trade, because the wheels aren't useful in the War Factory mirror. But killing a bike puts you ahead in a bike mirror. Of course, Alicia has tank, so she automatically wins the War Factory mirror by having tank. Agent doesn't have the Giga yet.
What do you think Agent's thinking is behind the Giga rather than the Tic Tank?
Yeah. So here we go, coming down to first missile. Agent does get onto that pad with the lasers. But they're going down really quickly to this Fnatic. And I think that's going to be Alicia's missile. Oh, she doesn't move away from the Giga long enough. Oh, and he sneaks on. Oh my god, this is huge. He sneaks on with the boosted missiles. If this Giga can move up, Alicia's in a lot of trouble. If he can get back on the pad with another laser troop, he needs to get back on the pad, and then the Giga charges up. Wow, Alicia might be dead for first missile here. It's super close. Yeah, once this Giga gets charged up, I don't know if Alicia has anything she can do. She's trying to decharge it and get back on. Just about manages it. Tick Tank though. Ooh, Tick Tank goes down just about, but Shade is out already. The Shade is huge. I think it'll kill the Giga, then go down. Yeah, it trades for the Giga. Fanatics aren't there in time. Agent takes first missile thanks to that Giga. Wow. Really nice play.
Really good play, yeah.
Yeah, really surprised. Like, because the Giga was max charged, Alicia felt she had to retreat from it, or the splash was going to kill her Tick. But then by retreating, she gives space for Agent to move on, because she's no longer blocking.
Yeah.
I think maybe she would have been better off letting the Fanatics die, because I don't think the splash damage would have killed the Tick Tank, and that would have decharged the Giga, because then it would have had no targets. Of course, then, again, there's no blocking, so... Yeah, maybe it would have been better just...
It's a very intense micro situation.
Yeah.
And I think both players did really well to try and swing things in their favor.
Yeah, I think Agent did slightly better. Alright, so Agent goes second Giga. Second Giga out here. Oh no, the Shade's gonna one-shot it. Oh, it doesn't actually kill it. Oh, it didn't fire one of its bombs. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, well, the Shade didn't finish its volley. So this Giga is on 1 hit point. Wow, Agent goes third Giga Cannon. This is an interesting strategy right here. This is a lot of Giga Cannons. But Alicia really doesn't have anything to push in because she doesn't play lasers. She doesn't play lasers, so the only thing she has that goes in is the Shade, which gets killed by the Phantoms.
Both Gigas are really low though.
Yeah, really low.
Get something in on them.
It'd be an easy snipe for these Shades. I think that's what we're going to see. Phantom doesn't reload from Agent in time thanks to that EMP. The Giga does go down. But Alicia doesn't have anything on the pad, and now she's overcommitted on these Phantoms. She's trying to hunt down Agent's Phantom. Maybe just see, might just see her contest with Phantoms to take this missile. Ooh, wins that Phantom Mirror just about. Really surprised to see both players focusing so hard on top pad. Alicia could easily put something on bottom right and then take bottom left with a Shade. Why is she fighting so hard for middle pad when she could just win bottom? Well, it looks like she ends up winning both. But yeah, I don't know. She could have easily just gone and taken the bottom pad at any time there, I think. Alright, a fresh Tick Tank from Alicia here. Giga still super low. That's the same Giga that was on the bottom left pad, I think. Still hanging out. I don't know if Alicia is intentionally not killing it, because it seems like she could have snuck in at some point with something. Agent just trying to set up his Giga Fortress. Not sure about this boost. Alright, Agent's moving in. Again, not really sure this is necessary. Once you have map control, you don't really need to push with the Giga Cannons. You don't have to assert total map dominance.
Yeah, I think he's probably just got a taste for it.
Double Tick comes in. Wow, if those were Scorpions, they might have done something, but Ticks, when moving, such low hit points. Here comes the Shade plus Phantom. Yeah, there goes 1 Giga. This is a really weird game. Oh, this Agent Shadow's Phantom does get all its missiles off. Almost kills that Phantom. Agent could probably play laser frontline as for his Giga, and that would be really strong because Alicia would then have to send Fanatics into it, and the Gigas. Wow, boosted Fanatic takes out the Giga. Shade comes in, takes out the other Giga. Very strong map presence for Alicia now. Agent has a lot of money, but he needs to get back into position, which is quite difficult for a deck like his.
Yeah.
Phantom does take out that Shade. Oh man, I don't know if Agent doesn't look very comfortable with this deck. I don't think he really knows what he's supposed to be doing. Alicia pushing up hard, but wow, loses that Shade. Oh, it's going to be close. I don't know who's going to win this one. It looks like Agent's got all 3 pads. Oh, the Phantom goes down. New Phantom's moving in. Is it going to get there in time? Is it going to hold long enough? Spike missiles? Oh, just long enough, and Agent takes it. Wow, crazy. Crazy games.
That was a crazy game, yeah.
Alright guys, here we go. Alicia Destiny versus Agent Shadow. The ban from Alicia was Shade, which is very interesting because she's the one playing Shade. What I think this means is she's thinking of playing MLRS and wants to be protected from shade. Yep, there it is. Exactly what I predicted. There's the MLRS. She wants to be protected from shade. So she spanned shade. She's playing MLRS, which is very good on this map. But Agent Shadow has responded with Avatar, which is obviously great against Alicia's Fortress, but loses to the Titan Splash that she's playing.
Yeah.
So this is a very, very weird set of decision making that's gone on here that has led to, I believe, Alicia being favored again. If she'd played the MLRS without the Titan, I think the Avatar would beat her. But with the Titan, I think she has outs to the Avatar, and Agent's deck is weak to GDI anyway because it's one of these classic triple Nod air decks. So it's really good versus Nod, but not that strong versus GDI because Pitbulls, basically. So yeah, this is going to be a really interesting one. Wow, the MLRS overcommitment there before Agent even has a vehicle. Agent has laser drones in response, and Alicia cannot build a unit because she has 2 harvesters, a sniper, a dog, and an MLRS. MLRS goes for the halve, but it's going to get taken out by the laser drones, so a little bit of a pretty big cost there for her, just kind of spews off 70 Tiberium. And now here come the Pitbulls that shut down the drone swarms. However, she's going to win first missile pretty easily, it looks like. Yeah, there's the flip. But Agent is about to make an Avatar. And Alicia is not that close to the Titan. Or is she? I think actually she might be, right? It's like one... Yeah, she's actually about to make the Titan. So Titan will be out in time to counter the Avatar. Of course, 1v1, the Avatar wins.
Yeah.
So...
how quickly Alicia can follow up.
Yeah, exactly that. Oh, wow. So Agent chooses to not chase down the Titan, but instead go for the Harvester. Now, he's lost his Oksana boost here. That's a pretty big cost. And Alicia's managed to get her second Titan out. Second Titan swings this matchup for the Titans. So now I think our Agent is in a lot of trouble. Yeah, this Avatar's going down, man. This Avatar's going... Oh, wow. See you later. The double hit from the Titan. It shot through the Fanatics and killed it.
That actually went down quicker than I thought it would.
Yeah, it's only like 3 Titan shots, and the Titan shot through the Fanatics and hit the... So both Titans shot it there. Yeah, no, Avatar gets pretty dumpstered by Titan. Titan is a really good answer to Avatar. So I think that's going to be game. I don't see how Agent beats 2 Titans right now. And yeah, he's playing Avatar win condition, and his opponent has a counter. When that happens, it's really hard to win with Avatar. Again, if Alicia had played this deck without the Titan, I think the Avatar would have been amazing. Yeah. Oh, maybe this new Avatar takes out this Titan. Maybe the game isn't as over as I thought. I'm not sure what Agent is doing with this Avatar. Is he going to use it to kill something? It's a very weird game we're watching right now. Finally, the Avatar gets into combat. He's actually going to take the missile, it looks like. Wow. Okay, I called that pot too early.
I don't know why he was so tentative.
Yeah, like, I think he's scared. I think he knows that if it dies, he loses the game. Yeah, I think he was just scared of losing the Avatar there. So he takes out a Harvester. He goes in and takes out this Titan. Does take 2 shots in return, though. It will go down to the next Titan shot. And Alicia, by the way, has 700 Tiberium almost. So she's at the point where she can just not Harvester ever again and be fine. So I think we're going to see Alicia suiciding this Harvester. Yeah, here it comes. She doesn't want this thing anymore. She wants the Popcat back. Agent, on the other hand... Wow, Agent has 2 avatars now. Oh, my God. This game has gone so back and forth.
Need the Popcat.
Yeah, Alicia might lose now because she simply can't build enough Titans with her Popcat constraints to actually kill 2 avatars. Doesn't get a second shot off on this bottom avatar. She could kill the top avatar pretty easily. An Agent is pretty low on cash.
Positional advantage, though.
I think it's over. I mean, I might be wrong again, but I think Alicia has too much money. With no Harvester, she has no Popcat constraints either. I think that's going to be game. She kills both avatars with just a huge number of Titans. She just makes like 5 Titans, kills both the avatars. Still has the Hammerhead.
Yeah, units though.
I think Alicia's got this one. I don't see how Agent gets back into it. He just doesn't have the cash. Maybe the drone swarm spam, or sorry, laser drone spam. But now there's a Hammerhead on each pad as well. And snipers and triple Titan. Yeah, Alicia is just... She's on like 6 combat units right now. And still has 400 Tiberium to burn. I mean, Agent's getting through them though, eventually. He's grinding through these laser drones with his Hammerheads. Maybe he can do it. I don't think it's getting really rough now. Now there's a Pitbull and a Hammerhead on the bottom to kill laser drones.
Tell me where it
I think that might be it. The Hammerhead top's about to die though.
Come join us. Could
Ah, no, there it is. All right, Alicia looked like she was going to win
There in
that
the end.
5-minute game. Agent did not manage to get the flip back. Wow, okay, that brings it to 2-2, I believe. All right, Alicia Destiny versus Agent Shadow match point. We have so many bans now. Predator, Scorpion, Inferno, Titans, Stealth Tank, Razorback, Missiles, and Shade. All banned. And we're on Canal Row. So let's see what these decks these players have brought. Alicia is playing the same deck, but with Zone Trooper instead of Titan. Took her like 5 or 10 minutes to figure that one out. Agent Shadow is playing Artillery. Wow, interesting. I don't know if Artillery is good or not. I really don't. I think, I have a feeling that Artillery actually isn't that good versus MLRS, because MLRS can drive up to it, tank a shot, and one-shot it.
Does it actually tank a shot?
Yeah, it takes 2 artillery shots to kill an MLRS. Whereas MLRS will one volley the artillery, I think.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, there's no Jackson or MSV for the MLRS, so maybe it'll be too difficult to get it into position and shoot before the artillery fires twice.
Saying you can drive it up to it sounds easy.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you've probably got to cover quite a lot of distance without getting shot.
Yeah. Although having said that, Zone Troopers tank a lot of artillery shots. So it's going to be very difficult to beat the zones for Agent. Also, his deck is super bad versus these snipers early game. Like his deck doesn't really do well against Pitbull until he makes artillery. So he wants to stall this game for as long as possible. He really doesn't want that missile charging. He needs to get artillery out. But of course, the longer he stalls, the more likely Alicia is to get zones, which are also a problem. All right, here comes the triple bikes. Wow, Agent moving his bike too far to get that block, and the MLRS is going to punish it. Let's take down that first bike squadron. Agent gets on the middle pad, but he's going to lose the bottom left to the Pitbull. MLRS pushing up. Oh, Liang drone to control that back pad whilst MLRS moves up. This is going to be missile for Alicia. There's no way Agent gets back on this pad. Yeah, and there it is. Once again, Liang doing Liang things. Liang super busted. So Agent
Through to the harvester at the top. Doesn't seem to be going for it.
Yeah, it looks like Alicia's going to push in against Agent's harvester, but he's about to make an artillery. But can he... Oh man, if he makes this artillery, is it going to die to the MLRS? Here we go. Gets one shot on the MLRS. Needs a second. There it is. Takes out the MLRS. Nice. So yeah, once this artillery gets going, Agent could be in strong position. It depends if Alicia can get the zones out and if the zones can make it to the artillery. They do tank artillery pretty well, but obviously there will be units in front of the artillery, one would assume. Agent moving...
gradually crawl the artillery up.
That's exactly what he's doing. He's moving one tile at a time. Here he goes. He's moving up towards the middle. But oh, putting it behind the missile silo. I don't know if I like that because it can't actually hit the pad. Looks like he's going for the harvester. I don't know how much I like this. I feel like it's not that relevant.
He's got a second, so...
Yeah. To be fair, if he just makes a lot of artillery, it's very hard for Alicia to beat that with her deck.
No air unit.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no reason to build it.
Yep, exactly that. Wow, third artillery. This is something you don't see very often. It's so rare that a deck is just this cold to artillery that people usually don't go triple artillery. There you see the Zone Trooper tanks the artillery so well, and he needs this missile. I don't think he has time. And I think he spent too long. Yeah, you see that Zone Trooper just walked up to the artillery bottom and killed it. This is exactly what I'm talking about. The Zone Troopers just beat the artillery. Wow, and there it is, guys. Alicia takes it down. Basically because artillery can't kill Zone Troopers. I think Agent spent too long getting his artillery set up. He should have gone for the middle of the map ASAP and then blocked with other units for the artillery. Alright guys, bonus feature here. The last game of Maximus versus LePakka. It is currently 2-2 in the loser's bracket, so the loser will be out of the tournament. And our bans, as you can see, are Liang, Strong Arm, Inferno Fanatic, Stealth Tank, Razorback, Chemical Buggy, and Talon. I'm not sure which player banned what. I just got a list of the bans. But I'm pretty sure LePakka banned the Strong Arm and the Talon, because both of those are things Maximus loves to play. And Maximus almost certainly banned the Chuggy and the Inferno at the very least, because those are things that LePakka likes to play. So again, we're seeing this triple air Nod Avatar deck. It's turning out to be quite a popular deck in this tournament with the bans.
Looks pretty strong.
Yeah, I mean, if your opponent plays Nod, it's very good. If your opponent plays GDI, I think it's a lot weaker. Maximus is playing a very, very weird and very cheap aggressive deck with Solomon. I think Maximus is heavily favored here. His deck is super cheap. He's very aggressive. He's going to fire missiles really early in the game. He's got Slingshot for the triple air. He's got Rhino for the 2 infantry. And he's got Solomon. When that avatar finally comes out, if he hits it with a Solomon, he just wins the game instantly, I think. So yeah, I think Maximus is really far ahead here.
Shoot air.
Sorry, what was that?
Four of Maximus's units can shoot air, so
Yes. Yeah.
that's helpful in the situation.
He has basically every War Factory unit that can shoot up. Is that all of them? I think that's all the War Factory units that can shoot up, right?
No other ones spring to mind.
Yeah. So yeah, I think very, very heavily favored against this, at least in the initial stages of the game. Obviously, when the avatar comes out, if he misses the Iron Cannon, he's dead. Like, if he misses the Iron Cannon, the avatar kills his entire deck. But LePakka, I don't even know if he's going to make it to avatar. He needs another 60. This missile's about to fire. He's still... Oh, wow. What an aggressive Iron Cannon on just laser drones. I think that's it, though. The avatar isn't going to come out.
I would call that a defensive Iron Cannon.
Yeah. Wow.
It's to, like, preempt any units that you're going to build to try and get on the pad in time.
Yep, you're right. It's an Iron... He's Iron Cannon the laser drones, but really he's Iron Cannon the spawn point. Yeah, you're right. Alright guys, Maximus versus Srpss. Our bans are Strong Arm and Banshee. Very targeted bans from Srpss there. Maximus loves Strong Arm and Banshee. And then Razorback and Fanatic from Maximus, which again just wants to ban out that meta units. Alright, so it is a Nod Mirror, and Maximus is playing... Wow, he's playing Wheel Venom as his only anti-infantry. That is super risky. I don't see... Once Srpss gets a Mutant Marauder with a Stealth Tank next to it, I don't see how Maximus deals with that. It's going to be really tough for him to beat.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of Venoms on a Mutant is good enough, but with the Stealth Tank, you just don't know, man. Like, you know, a Stealth Tank one-shot in the Venom is going to be very tough.
Although, having said that, of course, laser drones are amazing versus Nod, so... Maybe Maximus... If Maximus can punish the Stealth Tank with laser drones when it kills the Venom... Because obviously you need to kill like 5 laser drone squads with 1 Stealth Tank to not lose money on the exchange.
Yeah.
So yeah, if he can punish heavily whenever that happens, that would... that maybe will get him back into it. Alright, so... Maximus and Srpss doing a little bit of dancing, a little bit of pop capping. Srpss trying not to kill that last wheel. Double Venom comes out. You can see how beefy the beefy boys are. Double Venom takes a little while to kill them, and Venom is a very high DPS unit. Here comes a drill pod from Maximus. Wow, Maximus looking very strong on this first missile. The laser drones are out as well. Oh, but the bikes clear those laser drones. Suddenly it's a flip. Srpss looking very good, and 4 bikes means he takes down the laser drone squad instantly. Wow, and that's going to be a missile for Srpss. Yeah, Maximus just kind of getting punished there. Didn't need to have a tank on that top pad to handle those bikes. Very nicely played from Srpss. Alright, Mutants trying to chase down this Scorpion. Venom's, of course, coming out to handle the Mutants. Srpss simply doesn't have the money to invest in that Stealth Tank right now. That's really what he wants. He wants to have a Stealth Tank to protect these Mutants and Venoms. But, of course, Stealth Tank costs 100. Doesn't really have that kind of cash on hand. But as long as he keeps using bikes, the Scorpion is going to keep punishing him. So, yeah, it's pretty tough world to be in for Srpss. He's just bike spamming right now. Trying to save money. Trying to use the efficient trades of the bikes. Here comes another drill pod from Maximus. Not sure about this one. Doesn't look that well positioned. Not a lot to shoot with it. Maybe just wants the extra unit on the field. Chemical Buggy comes out from Srpss. Chemical Buggy plus laser is also a very strong combination he can definitely do. Of course, the Venom will break up this combination. The Venom does come out, takes out that first laser squad. About half hit points now. Could probably tussle with another laser if it's on defense. Probably can't go on offense against a laser. There you go. See, it's harassing down this laser as it's moving. Srpss going lots of lasers now. There's the first Stealth Tank. This will not kill the Scorpion in 1 volley. Yeah, he only gets 2 missiles as well. So many Venoms on the field, though. And there's the Ceph again. Ceph really been very powerful this game for Maximus, giving him additional pop cap when he needs it.
Stealth tank needs to reload, so it does
Oh,
fairly
Scorpion
quickly.
retargets. Does go down though. SRPSS looking very strong. Is the Chuggy gonna go down? Oh, the laser drones aren't on the pad! Maximus, the laser drones aren't on the pad! Wow, and there it is, guys. I think he has that if he gets the laser drones on the pad, because his Scorpion beats that reloading Stank.
Yeah.
Oof, man. Alright, guys, here we go. Game 2, Maximus versus SRPSS. The ban from Maximus was Chemical Buggy, which has driven SRPSS back to the GDI faction. Very interested to see what happens here. I'm expecting a Borka. No, it's this weird Fortress deck again. Wow, and Maximus is also on a 4 War Factory deck. Again, he's got Wheel Chem Venom. This is such a weird deck. I'll tell you what, this is a deck that can never, ever, ever beat Laser Drones or Shades. But...
Well, I mean, people don't know what normal is anymore.
yeah, sure.
You know.
Yeah, this is one of those decks that can never beat Laser or Shade, but if you just don't think your opponent will ever play those units, you can bring it to a tournament. Like, you could never play this deck on ladder. It's a horrible ladder deck. But in a tournament where you're like, my opponent is going to play GDI, I'm like 90% confident, very easy to bring a deck that can't beat Laser Drones, because your opponent simply won't play them, because they play in GDI. Of course, the triple bikes, I think, wow, why has he built barracks? Did he think he had lasers? He should have gone Scorpion here. Yeah, I think Maximus has cocked this one up, boys. He spent all his money on a barracks, and now he can't Scorpion, and he can't get rid of these pit bulls with just bikes. Big misplay from Maximus there. Really bad. I think it has to be. Like, I don't know. Like, I think he was trying to go lasers, and then he opened his barracks and was like, "Oh, I don't have any."
Yeah, sure, that must be it.
So he should have just made a Scorpion tank, and that would have cleaned up the pit bulls. Yeah, now he's built his air tower as well, and then maybe he's looking at a Venom and going, "Oh, this doesn't help either." So really surprised to see Maximus simply not making a Scorpion tank yet. He spent a lot of... He has spent 80 now on tech switching, when he could have just built a Scorpion tank. And he makes chems. SRPSS immediately responds with Shatterer, which is a little surprising because these chems aren't actually that relevant. Wow, Maximus is still just trying to beat pitbulls with bikes. This is hot. This is painful to watch, man.
I mean, yeah, I think aiming up for a score was the play.
Yeah.
But that ship sailed now, in my opinion.
I can't believe he never built a Scorpion tank. Wow, that game was not close. And Maximus, I think, just didn't really know what was going on there. Like, it felt like he should not have been building his barracks or his air tower. He never made a Venom. He made one chem with no targets. That's a lot of money wasted. Alright, guys, what is up? Here we go. Match point. SRPSS is 2-0 up. And your eyes do not deceive you. Rokketz has been replaced by Jeffrey. Rokketz needs to go get some food. Jeffrey's internet has fixed itself. So he is back. So here we go, guys. Wow, SRPSS playing a Chem Trooper Catship deck. We've seen him play a lot of Catship decks today. Seems like he really wants to play Catship. I don't know why, but he's been playing Catship a lot today, and it hasn't been working out that well. Maximus...
Well, you know, sorry, I was going to say SRPSS is that kind of player that likes to experiment with all the new units that come out. I mean, he was one of the first to experiment with Mutant Marauders when they came out.
And Razorback, in fact.
Yeah, and so he comes up with meta decks a lot, and I don't know if this is going to be a meta deck, but it's an interesting deck nonetheless.
Yeah, that is true. He is obviously trying to find a way to make it work. And Maximus is playing almost exactly his standard deck. Normally he has Wolverine and Strong Arm. Instead he's playing Liang and Zone Trooper here. So
yeah,
I actually think, so funnily enough, the Wolverine would have been really good in this matchup, or at least, no, actually no, it would have been terrible, never mind. There's a Shade and a Stealth Tank and bikes, it would have been awful. But the Zone Troopers are also going to be awful, because the Catship is actually very good versus Zone Trooper. Like,
That's
Zone
right.
Trooper is a two-man squad, it gets 2 shots, each model gets 2 shot by the Catship, so these Zone Troopers could actually be very bad. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes.
Yep. Well, speaking of that, here comes the first missile. We got those jump jets on the middle pad. Liang healing that talent. It is going to go down here pretty quickly. I don't think it's going to be enough, but it doesn't matter. Maximus has all 3 pads, and that gives him that first missile. Yep,
and Maximus, of course, takes that first missile. Jump jet's very good on this map. Air and flying and hover in general are very good on this map. SRPSS's deck, I think, quite a lot weaker, especially, like, well, I think his deck is quite a lot weaker as the Catship deck. But I also think it's pretty weak on this map. So I do think Maximus has deck advantage here. The Talons are going to be really good against the Catship as well, so Wow, it looks like SRPSS is going for a Harvester kill with the catship combo.
Is it going to work? All the explosions do a fair amount of damage.
Does a lot of damage.
It's going to get another one off. And it is going to go down here right away. The Talon, it clears it just in time. The Chem Warriors, though, they do pretty good damage
to
the
hit points. There it goes.
Down that Harvester. Look at that.
Yeah,
but it doesn't matter.
The Harvester does go down.
And let's see who's going to take it. Well, the bikes are moving onto that middle pad. Right when we get onto that left pad, the Shade comes in on that middle pad as well. That catship holding steady on the far right. But these jump jets are going to start chewing down these bikes. The Shade isn't going to clear them, but it doesn't matter. Here we go. SRPSS coming back. Almost. Wait a minute.
Oh, the flip. Oh, the flip back. Oh!
What? The double flip. You don't see it too often, but there it is.
And both players' harvesters were killed in that exchange. So both players very resource light right now. SRPSS and Maximus both on 30 Tiberium. SRPSS not rebuilding Harvester though. Maximus immediately rebuilds. SRPSS trying to punish it. Not going great though. The jump jets are protecting. He's getting a lot of damage actually. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it is going well.
I think he's going to get it here. Almost. Oh, wait a minute.
Ah, the bike's misfired.
MVP right there, taking a missile to the face. But there it is. Another volley goes down on the Harvester and he takes it. So yeah, this is looking good for SRPSS. I mean, shutting down the economy of Maximus is going to hurt him quite a bit. He's not ever going to get to his zone troopers.
Yeah, and that Harvester bounty is huge right now because both players are so broke. Allows SRPSS to build a stealth tank. Stealth tank actually doesn't do a great job. It looks like it took out one Talon, now it's almost dead. Maximus trying to go for Harvester as well because he's also pretty broke. Again, sorry guys, my bans are blocking the Harvester hit points, but there it does go down.
Wow.
Uses the money for double jump jet. Are they going to be quick enough? Takes out the stealth tank. Heads towards the middle. Has a Talon as well. If this Talon gets on the pad, it's looking okay for him.
Oh, he doesn't take down that single bike, though. The bike's going to live to say never see another day. Oh, and there goes the Talon. He's going to try and get onto the pads here, trying to switch units around, but is it enough? The jump jets finally make it on there, but the catship is there.
Catship's everywhere.
And another one coming. And
catship's everywhere.
There it is.
Everywhere the jump jets go, there's another catship.
Wow, what a game
what
that
a game.
was.
That was so good.
Amazing game.
Wow, a little bit sad to see no offense to SRPSS, but this was a good series and I wanted to see more games from it. I'm a little bit sad that he's 3-0'd now, but man, that was a great game to end on.
Yep.
Alright guys, here we go. SRPSS versus Agent. Game 1, our bans from SRPSS are Titan, from SRPSS is Fnatic Razorback, and from Agent it's Titan and Giga Cannon.
Oh, interesting. Well, okay, so two very similar decks. Well, not that similar actually, but of course both are going to use the Orca Bomber. But Hammerhead versus Talon, I gotta say, having Hammerheads is gonna be great for SRPSS in this map.
This is a classic old school build because if Agent was playing Hammerhead instead of Talon, that would be his classic old school deck. SRPSS's deck is literally his classic old school deck. So really interesting to see how this goes. I agree with you. The Hammerhead is a huge advantage. Hammerhead will it's gonna come down to air mirror probably because everything dies to Borka except for each other's Borkas. And the Hammerhead annihilates Talons. Obviously, I don't think it's like that. It's not like he's gonna win for free because of this. But oh wow, classic SRPSS going first missile Borka. SRPSS always. Oh, it's just like seeing like 2 meta games ago before the Razorback existed. This is literally how SRPSS used to play this deck.
Well, now that's what makes him such a great opponent. You know, he just knows the timing, and he pulled it out quite early, but he hasn't taken a single shot there. It takes the first one from the pitbull, but the jump jets are going to go into that left pad, stall the missile. But the Orca Bomber is just about there. I think it will clear them, and it does. Does he take out his own jump jet? No,
not
just
quite.
About. Another squad is about to move into position, but the snipers are going to hold steady. And this pitbull not really doing too much on that far right pad. It's just going to lose to these missiles here eventually. And then the Orca Bomber now reloaded. Looks like SRPS is in a good position, and there it is.
There it is.
There it is. That first missile really well done.
Classic SRPSS. First missile Borka. Not only did he first missile Borka, but he got like 2.5 bombing runs out of it. If he'd got 1 bombing run out of it and then lost it, he would have lost the game. Or lost the missile for sure. The second bombing run is what got him far enough ahead to take the missile. So yeah, really SRPSS is one of the best Borka players in the game. He absolutely loves Borka and he's been playing it forever. I'm really surprised the Agent takes so long to switch into his Talons, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. I think going earlier into air would have been better for Agent Shadow. It almost looked like he just got caught up by that Orca Bomber and the missiles. Of course, he was trying to shut down with the snipers, but just ended up costing him a little bit too much there to fight back. So yeah, I agree. Talons would have been a nice tech switch.
It's like you say, it's because the snipers are so expensive that he couldn't afford to tech switch early game. Of course, now we see the Hammerhead comes out, dominates the Talons, but in terms of economy, it's actually only killed 2 Talons. So it's a 90 cost unit that's killed 60 cost, and now is dead. So he actually is behind on economy, but he's ahead on battlefield because of it, and that's what really matters here.
Oh, so far ahead. That Orca Bomber crushed that Pitbull, and it doesn't allow him to get back on the pod. Agent Shadow loses
Such
2
a
in a
dominant
row.
performance from Srpss. And this just got this, honestly, this, yeah, I mean, this is just, this is what you'd see back before Razorback came out. This is how Srpss would play, and he'd dominate everyone with this deck. And obviously, Agent is much more used to the now meta game. Camera. All right, guys, Jeffrey's having a little bit of problems again. We're gonna try just voice Jeffrey. So he is still here. Don't worry, guys. Jeff Katz is here.
I am here.
There he is. Game 2, Srpss versus Agent. Agent snap banned that Orca Bomber, which I was a big fan of that play. Srpss now on an Inferno Chuggy deck. Very, very unusual. Normally, you don't see Chuggy with Inferno because the Chuggy and the Inferno both provide that expensive anti-infantry role.
Right.
But Inferno also, this looks like a deck where Srpss is using Inferno as his anti-vehicle unit, and Chuggy will be his anti-infantry, so we'll see how that goes. And actually, Inferno Mirror.
Pretty much, yeah. Stealth Tank versus Phantom, that's about the only difference. And, you know, in this case, Phantom is really good against Inferno. It's better than Stealth Tank, but Stealth Tank is good at shutting down both. So, you know, because it's these 2 players, I would say it's really going to come down to Micro more than anything. But look at what's going on right now. The parade of single double squads. Look at this, savage. So they're going to go sit on those tip fields if we're trying to get rid of them. But both these players love to pop cap, and
they do.
Right here.
Yeah, and the thing about pop capping is, whilst it's an effective method to stop your opponent building units, firstly, you need a way to clean them up afterwards. Both players have Chuggy, so they can both do that. But secondly, you give your opponent lots of money because they can't make units. When you do finally kill their units, they suddenly have like 300 Tiberium to spend, which means they can suddenly pop out with a lot of very powerful things. So you see here, the Chuggy comes out, Agent's able to immediately respond with an expensive stealth tank, then makes his own Chem Buggy. I don't know if this Chem Buggy is a good idea. Oh, it's gonna clean up these missiles. Oh, Srpss, yeah, pulling those bikes down so the stealth tank killed the Chuggy instead, which he wanted to die rather than the bikes in this spot. Really nice play. And there's a really minor thing, but really, really nice.
Look at this. Oh, the Chuggy dies to the lasers. As Stealth Tank gets onto that pad for just a second, but only takes down the bikes. Rifles do get on there. They're going to shut down those lasers. And, you know, this has been going back and forth quite a bit. It's actually hard to say who's going to take it. But
really
nice
hard
blocking
to say.
on that top pad. That might concentrate his Micro a little bit too much, as it's going to allow him to get onto those other pads. The bikes get onto that top right. And here we are. Oh, looks like Agent Shadow's got all 3.
There it is. Yep, Agent's on all 3. Finally takes it down. Wow. Really intense first missile, though.
Yeah, that was it was you know, it looked like Srpss was just going to take it there, but
yeah, I thought he had it.
Going so much back and forth. That was great.
Really nice play from Agent in the middle of that with his militants microing back and forth at the top, so the Chuggy couldn't get on them properly, which meant it was really hard for the Chuggy to kill them off quickly, which bought Agent a lot of time. So yeah, really interesting.
Sorry, Inferno is here. Let's see. So what's he going to shoot at, though? I mean, the Stealth Tank, it is low in health, but he just has to get one sneaky volley off on it. He will take it down. Now 2 Infernos, of course. This is going to be difficult for Agent Shadow to take down. And
bikes kill it. Bikes kill the Stank. That's a big deal.
Oh, yeah, for sure it is. And Agent, I'm surprised he hasn't gone to his own Inferno. Of course, he hasn't really needed it just yet. These Chem Buggies are doing a pretty good job against the lasers, but 2 Infernos, I mean, this is going to be pretty tough, and they both haven't really taken much damage. There goes down another laser squad. The Stealth Tank really needs to try and take one down, and so far hasn't been able to.
Yeah, and Srpss is trying to play an Inferno plus laser game plan. Obviously, the problem with this is what Agent does is exactly that. He baits out the shot, brings in the Chuggy. Now, I think this matchup, Stank versus Inferno, heavily favors the Infernos, and you're seeing why in this game here. It's so hard to move in the stealth tanks without getting at least traded for. Like, actually just straight up killing an Inferno with a stealth tank is very difficult to do. Oh, but here he goes. He baits the shot. Very nice bait.
Oh, beautiful.
Very nice bait on both pads. And there we go. He takes out 2 Infernos. And he just needs this one missile.
Oh, the lasers got onto the pad. That stealth tank is trying to get out of the way.
Oh, the double hit! The double hit with the Inferno! It's so big! It's such a big deal! And both harvesters are idling now. Agent's on the pad, no. Srpss is not, but it doesn't really matter because the lasers are going to beat the stealth tank, and the Infernos are doing so much work.
Oh, the harvester moves on to that
Boosted
far right
lasers.
pad. Again, the attack bikes get on there. You take
it's
down
not going to block long enough.
This
not
might
gonna
be
block long
enough.
enough. I think Agent's got it. I think Agent's got it.
Agent's got it.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
wow, Agent's got
What
it.
a game.
Good welcome.
Absolute insane game. Wow.
And there we go, 1-1. 1-1. Alright guys, here we go. 1-1 SRPSS versus Agent. The Chuggy has been banned from SRPSS. Interesting enough, so he bans Chuggy, then changes to a GDI deck. So I wonder if the Chuggy... Wow, really weird. So he's banned Chuggy and then played a deck which doesn't care about Chuggy at all.
I'll take good care
I
of
wonder if by banning Chuggy, he's trying to bait Agent into playing something specific. And then is trying to counter that.
I mean, it's possible, and if that was the case, I would say it's worked out because Agent Shadow's deck, I mean, it's going to struggle big time once SRPSS gets set up. Once he gets an MLRS and a Shatter going and he keeps them alive, which with SRPSS, he's got great micro, so I'm sure he's not going to have too much of a problem with that. I don't know. As soon as this fortress gets set up, Agent Shadow's done. And this is a great map here for a unit like Slingshot. I mean, Talons are pretty much never going to come out because of that, if that ever happens. But these Shatterers are going to be such a problem. I mean, shutting down the jump jets and the snipers.
Yeah, we saw a game earlier where Alicia was playing a 4 infantry deck. I believe it was a sniper deck with missiles, jump jets, and zone troopers. And I think SRPSS is playing the deck he's playing now. And he played the first missile really very poorly, I think, and then still won easily. He just made so many Shatterers, and Alicia's deck only really had infantry to kill them. It was like infantry and Predator. She made 1 MLRS and about 8 Shatterers. Sorry, he made 1 MLRS and 8 Shatterers. This map, of course, doesn't look as strong for the Fortress because the Shatterer can't be everywhere at once. It was a 2-pad map last time. So these jump jets are absolutely being completely dominant right now.
They're actually doing quite a good job. He's been doubling up on the Shatterers, which is exactly what you need to do with jump jets.
Yeah, really nice play from Agent so far, but there's just so many Shatterers now. And Agent could afford to switch into Pitbull.
Yeah, well, he is, you know, this missile hasn't fired yet, and we're about almost 2 minutes here, but I think it is. And yeah, Agent Shadow with the jump jets piled up on that top pad, and SRPSS could not move in. That's the problem with Shatterer. That is its weakness. You cannot engage units with it. You have to be defensive like you are now. But then again, having said that, look at this. The double jump jets, he only gets rid of 1 squad and takes out just about over half the Shatterer. Not a great trade value-wise, but this trade here up on the top is going to work out pretty well, and Agent Shadow is doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, the jump jet spam is just beating up on the Shatterers. It's really... Wow, SRPSS going for the heavy jump jet pop cap. He loses Harvest as well. It looks like this many jump jets, he just can't handle it. Just way too many jump jets.
Agent Shadow's got so much money too, like he can afford to spam jump jets for eternity at this rate, and getting rid of that Harvester from SRPSS was just, you know, putting salt in the wound at that point. And now I don't see him coming back from this. I mean, he's got a missile, and Shadow's way far ahead. Well, there's
that is a classic play that you see people make. Agent made jump jets. SRPSS never responded with an anti-infantry, so Agent just kept making jump jets. Like, he said, if you're not going to show me something that beats jump jets, I'll just make them for the rest of the game.
Right.
Agent Shadow versus SRPSS, match point. Agent is 2-1 up right now. SRPSS has gone for a missile trooper ban, which is very interesting. Is he going to bring another fortress deck? I mean, if he does and Agent brings Shade, it's all over, right? Oh, and there it is. He's gone MSV Fortress, and Agent has brought Shade. And this, I think, is a pretty, I mean, like, it's a pretty heads-up play from Agent to go, okay, you ban missiles, that's weird. Maybe you're going to do the same thing again. I don't know, man. I think SRPSS is in a lot of trouble here. A lot of trouble.
I totally agree. Well, the only real difficult thing is, you know, again, if SRPSS can get set up, but Agent Shadow's got speed on his side. I mean, that's going to pay dividends like it did in the first match. SRPSS deck is quite slow, so it's never going to get that MSV set up.
The only thing that shoots up is the slingshot as well. Oh, and he goes MLRS. He predicts MLRS, and there's a Shade from Agent. Oh, I think that's it.
Oh, SRPSS plays paper, and Agent brings the scissor.
Yeah.
Savage. And that Shadow looks like he's going to lose some lasers as well. Well, no, not quite. The MLRS has finished it off, but the Riflemen jump in. One-shots them. Wow.
It's so hard for Slingshot to beat Shade as well, because it one-shots it. It's got the EMP. SRPSS has no detector unit. He only has jump jets. So...
Oh, Shade sneaks in and then gets its full volley off, taking care of the Slingshot.
This is too brutal. This is too brutal.
And now this ain't looking good. SRPSS has nothing to push with, and Unfortunate. Yeah, he did lose that first missile. Or sorry, to SRPSS.
SRPSS desperately trying to find the set of bans that lets him play this Fortress deck, and I don't think he's managed it. I think you've got to you've got to ban like you've got to have the Borka band, you've got to have the Inferno band, you have the Shade band. There's just too many things you need to ban to make this deck function.
It's a neat ban. I like the creativity behind it, and probably with a different deck in mind, it might work. But the moment that missiles were banned, you got to think about what units become very good in that scenario, and Shade's one of them, right?
I mean, he doesn't have Pitbull either. He literally swapped the Pitbull for the MSV. So it's even worse for him. Like, everything that could go wrong has gone wrong here.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's just, this matchup is, I mean, you can't win with this deck against Shades. You just can't.
No, and you see that's exactly what's taking place. These lasers are going to hold steady against everything. Shatter just cannot push onto the pad, so it's going to be too little too late.
Yeah.
Shadow won this one.
Very unfortunate final game there. Not much. It really was just a straight hard counter in terms of deck.
Yeah. Really was.
And unfortunately, that it means that it is going to be SRPSS dropping out in third place.
Here we go.
Here we go, guys. Grand finals. Alicia Destiny versus Agent. Alicia Destiny is 1-0 up because she is the winner of the winner's bracket. So Agent has an extra ban. So Agent has banned Inferno, Titan, Predator. Alicia has banned Stealth Tank and Missiles. And there is the deck I predicted Alicia would play exactly. So I don't know why it took her so long to decide it. Alicia spent 5 or 6 minutes complaining she didn't know what to play. This is a deck she's literally played twice before, 2 or more times in this tournament already. So I don't know why it took her so long to decide on it.
Yeah, and Agent Shadow bringing Borka, of course, not
Wow,
a big
Agent's deck is also very good. Both of these decks are, yeah, these are both just like proper decks because no one's banned Razorback, Liang, or Fanatics yet.
Yep.
So yeah, both players have brought, like, obviously Agent would rather have missiles than jump jets, but it's a fairly simple swap to make. And he does get punished when the shades come out. And we did see this earlier today. We saw Alicia, I can't remember if it was Alicia, but we saw someone playing Inferno Phantom and someone else had Hammerhead, and the Hammerheads just got wrecked by the Phantoms over and over and over.
Really?
Yeah, so the Phantom Inferno player ended up winning because they could use Infernos and the Hammerhead player simply could not win the air battle.
Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, here comes a nice flip. Are they going to live long enough? Very nice.
Wow.
Very nice play by Agent. Did you see? Did you see how all his units were grouped up on the top left, and then right as the missile's firing, he split them to all 3 pads, and because jump jets fly, Alicia couldn't stop it.
Yeah, exactly.
That was really nice.
And there's only one Fnatic squad on the field, so jump jets were great. I mean, just as effective as Liang would be, more or less.
Yep.
And yeah, their mobility and speed. I mean, Agent, the timing there was just phenomenal. Really great play there.
Alicia, of course, with the massive... he did throw away all of his units to do it. So Alicia had massive battlefield advantage. So she used that pressure to kill the Harvester. But it's unclear how much the money is going to matter in this matchup. Obviously, it'll matter. Money always matters. But as long as Agent continues to harvest, I don't know how much this actually hurts him. I guess he can't afford Hammerhead, so maybe it is a big deal. We'll have to wait and see how it goes.
Well, it may cost him this missile. I mean, he's not fighting back hard yet. The Phantom there's causing a lot of problems. It does go onto that far left pad now. All 3 pads taken by Alicia. But a Liang drone...
Oh, no, it's not enough.
Oh, wait a minute. It's not going to be enough. There we go. Middle pad was secured by Alicia entirely, and that gives her the second missile. And, I think the Harvester kill was really what punished him there.
Yeah, agreed. The Harvester kill was huge, actually. It ended up being a big deal. Because it allowed Alicia to power out this Phantom, which ended up being a huge part of the fight. And also, the fact that it's jump jets instead of missiles was a huge cost again. Because this Phantom was just roaming around on top of jump jets, chasing the Razorback down. And the jump jets don't do anything about it, whereas obviously missiles would have killed it.
That's right. Exactly.
So yeah, really big deal there. And then Agent now pop capping Alicia on these bikes and going after a Harvester. Obviously a very normal play. You'll see Agent and SRPSS and people making this play a lot.
Oh, Alicia's pulling the Harvester, looks like, onto the far left pad. A good move. Now the bike moves off.
She's got so much money because Agent pop capped her. She couldn't build stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, this pop capping is hurting her a lot. That single rifleman is going to go down right away. They'll flip the pad over, but Hammerhead will make it on there. Phantom's not quite reloaded, so actually that's not a good fight there for the Phantom. Looks like he's going to swap them around as one of them's nearly fully reloaded. Never mind, they both are. And we got the Phantom moving onto that middle pad again. The Fanatics are getting destroyed by the Razorback, though. The boosted bikes do get on there as well.
Oh, the Liang in time!
But the drone just does not make it.
Wow, that game was intense. I thought Alicia had it for sure. Then I thought Agent was taking it back and was for sure going to have it.
Yeah,
because when he got the Harvester kill, he had such a big economy boost for a short period of time.
Yeah.
It looked like he was going to take it back, but then Alicia killed the Hammerhead, which allowed the Phantom to roam free again. Oh man, that was a really good game. Alright, here we go, guys. Alicia versus Agent. Agent has banned Phantom, so Alicia has switched back over to GDI. I suspect we'll see Borka, probably from both players here. Maybe even close to a mirror match. Wow, Alicia is playing 4 air. What is it? Alicia's deck is 4 air, 2 War Factory. And Agent has brought Slingshot. And Talon. Oh my god. Talon is so... Oh wow, this is... I don't even... oh my god, I don't even know. With missiles banned, the 4 air is interesting because you don't have missiles to punish Mohawk.
That's right. Yeah.
So it's probably going to come down to an air mirror. But then the Hammerhead beats the Talon, but the Slingshot beats the Hammerhead, but then the Borka beats the Slingshot.
Yeah, it's a little
Wow,
rock,
this
paper,
kid's-
scissors, you know? Like, it's...
This is going to be crazy.
The decks have plenty of counters to each other.
Wow, Alicia goes Razorback and Agent responds with Pitbull instead of Slingshot. What the hell? I feel like
I don't know.
Pitbull is not really quick enough to answer the air. Okay, there's a Slingshot as well. Is it going to be fast enough? He needs to take down this first... Oh,
gonna
just
take
cleans it up in time. Here comes a new Mohawk.
Oh no, the unfortunate there for Alicia, she couldn't get onto the pads the Pitbull was occupying the Hex to try to move onto, so
Yeah.
just kind of danced out of place. Now the Razorback's getting pushed off as well. The Pitbull's
Wow.
not fast enough. Agent takes the first missile.
Yeah, and Slingshot just absolutely dominates that first missile. Of course, Alicia is double halved, so a first missile for her would be absolutely insane. Probably wasn't really expecting to win first missile double half. She is playing a Borka Hammerhead deck, so we're going to see a lot of Borkas. That's going to be her game plan. And 2 half Borka wrecks Slingshot.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why losing the first missile is not that big of a deal. Alicia's gone with the 2 Harvester Orca Bomber out, so that's exactly like you say, Blade. She's just going to continue to spam them out. She's got Liang to maintain the value, like you're seeing there. And yeah, and that is exactly how you beat what Agent Shadow has brought. The Talon and the Razorback just aren't going to be enough, just because of the fact that Alicia does have Hammerhead. She'll need 1 Hammerhead and like 10 Borkas, and she'll win this game.
I predict that, yeah. She might not even make the Hammerhead. It depends. You might just go Pitbulls and Borkas. The jump jets are going to be so good here. Is Alicia going to be able to respond to the jump jets in time?
That's the question, right? No Razorback on the field yet. Another Orca Bomber coming in tow, and is it going to make it in time? The Liang drone almost gets onto the pad, but Meadow needs to back off. Gets off.
Agent might just win it here. Razorback, oh, just in time. The Liang drone top, and there goes the Razorback. I think that's it. There's no way she gets back there in time.
Nope.
Wow. And that's what happens when you bring 4 air against Slingshot, I guess. She never got late enough to start spamming the Borkas. Like the game didn't, because her deck was so weak in the early game. Like those kind of decks usually play Rifle Missile for the early game, but obviously missiles are banned. Alright, Alicia Destiny versus Agent. Agent did take a game, and Alicia banned Pitbull because she's insane. So Agent's still sticking with GDI, even though Pitbull's gone. Alicia's gone into Nod. So Alicia's, yeah, okay, wow. Alicia's playing her standard deck, but with Shade Banshee instead of Inferno Phantom. Agent is playing Borka with Slingshot and Razorback. Oh my god. Agent has to be favored, surely. Alicia's anti-S sucks. It's Bike Banshee. And yeah, I mean this is gonna be really interesting.
Yeah, like Alicia's gonna have to fight really hard. She's got a tougher battle on her hands because of how much more micro she's got to get right with the Fnatic combination. Like she's got to get regular Fnatic boosts on the right units.
Oh wow. I just realized I was looking at Agent's deck and I'm like, oh, what should he tech switch into? There's nothing. He has to use jump jets to fight these wheels because there's no missiles, no Pitbull. So he either has to use jump jets or he has to save for a first missile Borka to fight wheels. Just wheels. And he built a Slingshot. I think he thought that was a Pitbull.
Oh, no. I think you're right.
Oh my god. And this is what happens when you have this many bans. The decks start looking so wonky. And jump jets are so expensive as an answer to wheels. Like, you really don't want to be jump jetting to answer wheels.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like at some point, I suppose you could just ignore the wheels, right? Like go into your air tower, forget about the wheels, and just build a Talon to hold a pad. That probably would have been a better strategy.
I agree completely. Yeah. I think this. Oh wow, Alicia going hard on this Harvester. I think the Slingshot was just a misclick. I think he thought it was Pitbull or something, because he's so used to having Pitbull in that slot.
Yeah, that is the one drawback of not having Pitbull. Doesn't shoot.
He really wanted to go Razorback jump jet. That's what he wants to be doing. He wants to have a wall of jump jets with Razorback behind it. Alicia's, both of Alicia's air units don't kill infantry. So that's what he really wanted to do, but oh man, he's so far behind now. I think he might just be done for.
Well, and of course, Alicia going after the Harvester again, but turns to fire at the one Talon, leaves it just a sliver of health, and the bikes finish it off. Talon is now going to fight the attack bikes, and Jump Jets move into position, but Alicia's so far holding the pads very well. Agent's not really making a push here, but, you know, needs to push these Talons forwards. The first one goes down, of course, one-shotted by the Banshee there, unfortunately, with really low health. And this Banshee at the top doesn't lose to the Talon, the second one will, but now the attack bikes coming with Jump Jets coming behind. Jump Jets will win against the bikes, but the Fanatics booster at the bottom. You know, and this two-pad map, this is something you got to expect, is just this back-and-forth gameplay, because it's so easy to spam units like this, and they both have counters to each unit, so really the question is, who slips up first?
Yeah, Agent has needed a slingshot for so long now, and he just can't make one because he hasn't got enough money to do it. He's been spamming these talents. Oh, I really think he should have gone slingshot here, but he needs stuff on the pads as well. I don't know if the slingshot's going to be in time. He's trying to move it into position, but he's got to get back on the pads as well. Double Banshee moving in. Oh, the slingshot goes down to the Banshees. Oh my god, Banshee insane.
The riflemen move onto the pad, and we're almost going to see a flip here. Fanatics moving on the bottom, Banshee coming in and get a boost off the Fanatics. Great micro there from Alicia. Now this boosted Banshee is going to have good defender's advantage. It's going to move on. Another one on the top pad, taking care of the Talon. But the rifleman, being the MVP here, is going to hold steady. Of course, needs to turn to fire against the oncoming Talon. This rifleman at the top is actually becoming such a huge problem, even though it's top-capping Agent. It's sort of holding steady, but maybe he's got it now. Jump Jets make it on there. Oh, just about rifleman over the top. No blocking from the attack bikes, and it looks like both players are a little bit flustered here. That's a bit of a misstep from Alicia that we don't expect, but now the Scorpion tank's holding steady on that bottom pad. Rifleman once again being such a problem. I'm surprised not to see a Razorback.
This game is so weird.
I don't understand it myself. These Talons against
the Fanatics get on the pad. I think that might be game. Oh, that's game, the Fanatics. Oh my god, what a game. And you can see the lack of missiles hurt Agent so badly in that game.
Like, it was, yeah.
He needed missiles so badly to kill missiles or pit bulls to fight that combination. Oh my god, that was crazy. Wow, Banshee MVP right there. Guys, match point. Alicia versus Agent. Agent chose to ban Orca Bomber there, which is very interesting. Really interested to see what he's planning to do here, because he's the one who's been playing Orca Bomber. So I think maybe we're going to see Giga here. That's exactly what he does. He goes Giga. I think this might be a big mistake, because Alicia played Shade last game. Alicia's playing exactly the same deck. Still has Shade and Banshee. Agent doesn't have a good anti-air unit. He only has Banshee himself. So we're going to have a Banshee mirror above the Giga cannon. What's going to happen is Agent's going to win the War Factory mirror with Giga, but then Alicia's going to go Shades. And then both players are going to go Banshees, and it's going to be like a Banshee mirror, and the one who wins the Banshee mirror is going to end up winning the game, probably.
Yeah, the only thing here is that Agent does have lasers in his deck, but I don't know if that's really going to help him too much. I mean, Fanatics are just so darn good against it, and it's going to, and you know, on a map like this where there's so many choke points, I really don't know if that's going to help him too much. So I think you're completely right, Blade. I really do think that the Shade is going to help Agent out, or sorry, Alicia out here quite a bit.
So, I think if I was in Agent's spot, and Alicia had been bringing this Fnatic War Factory deck, I would have brought Chems. I think I would bring a Chem deck. Chems beat Fanatics. Chem laser drone smashes Fnatic wheel, so that's what I would have done.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Chems would be so strong here. Well, unfortunate that they didn't bring that to the table, but we got Agent Shadow trying to claw back, but Alicia taking both pads very comfortably. That Scorpion tank boost just denied that bottom pad, took it over, and well, Alicia's up 1-0 here.
Surprised not to see Agent's trying to get this Giga set up, but I think he would have been better off going into the Banshee here. Once he sees this Shade, he's going to be pretty sad, I think. He's going to try and surround his Giga with lasers. Maybe Giga surrounded by lasers will do it. I don't know. I think Fanatics, because Giga starts with such low infantry damage, I think Fanatics can walk in and kill the lasers fairly easily. And here you go, boosted Shade. Ignores the lasers and the Banshee, takes out the Giga, and Agent can't afford to build a new Giga.
Well, and the Banshee did try to get in the way of the Shade, and that would have been a great way to block it, but just couldn't make it there in time. I think movement speed-wise, I think they're both the same. Banshee was probably just a little bit further behind, so just couldn't get into position quickly enough.
It does occur to me, though, that Alicia doesn't have a good answer to Banshee. She has bikes, which obviously don't win 1v1, and she has Banshee, which is a mirror. Well, having said that, I think it's over. I think it doesn't matter. The boosted Banshee, the boosted Banshee, the double bike at the top. And Alicia Destiny takes it down 4 games to 1.
Wow. Wow.
Wow, really dominant performance. And you got to figure that Agent's bans did not work out for him very well. With the way that like Alicia played the same deck the last 2 games and beat him with beat him twice with it. So you got to figure the bans didn't pan out the way he wanted. I think the Pitbull ban hurt him. The Pitbull and the missile bans hurt him so much. All right, guys. So there it is. Congratulations to Alicia, 4-1. Me and Jeffrey were just having a discussion. I think that Agent's banning was not as good as Alicia's, honestly. She only got a few bans, but I think they like the stealth tank ban really crippled Agent. Agent loves stealth tank and Pitbull, and he really struggled without those units. So yeah, really well played from Alicia. He does take the tournament 4-1, and with that, that is going to be the end of the tournament. Thank you, Jeffrey, for co-hosting. Thank you, Rockets, for stepping in. Would you like to say some words, Jeffrey?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as I always like to say, the greatest thing about these tournaments is it brings the community together. You know, I got a give a big thanks to Srpss for providing the bot and also doing a ton of administrative work behind the scenes. He was the one keeping the bans in check, making sure that games were set up properly. So he did a ton of work, and you know that's what makes it work. It's the dream team. You know, the dream makes the team work. So
yeah.
So yeah, I got to say big thanks to everybody involved, and you know, of course, the biggest winner here is you guys. Getting to see this great action. This has been a wonderful tournament. I'll definitely have to go back and watch the parts that I wasn't involved in. But
it was really good.
I got to say, just watching, you know, the end here, it was fantastic, and it was a great tournament overall.
All right, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I enjoyed the ban format a lot. We're going to try and integrate this into some more tournaments in the future. Obviously, the problem is it takes a long time to do the bans and to build decks and so on. But I do think it's worth it for how much more interesting the games become. So maybe we'll try and find a way to make bans faster. If players are more familiar, it should go quicker. But, you know, I think it was good. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I'll see you all next time.
See you guys.